And hello, everyone, and welcome back to HCG Masters Season 1. This is the B stream. My name is B Dog, aka Brandon. You're joining me for some absolutely classic best of threes. We are reaching the latter stages of this first round of the tournament. We did see this morning earlier, actually this afternoon, we've got some new timings for the win. Single handedly took down 777. And Uglum, they eliminated GTZ Bulls, meaning that these teams are both through to the main stage of the event and they pocket a cool €3,000. These next two teams, they are currently 1-2 in the Swiss, so they're fighting for their tournament lives here. It's Singularity versus aTTaX, and it's going to be such a good game. It's Singularity, obviously, you know who they are. You don't need me to write home too much about it. Obviously, a Russian side led by the veteran in Seized, obviously so prevalent for being involved in Na'Vi for over a 4-year tenure, I believe it was. And Klax as well. I think you'd recognize him from that side. He didn't play, obviously, for Na'Vi, but he played on teams. And he's been with Seized actually quite a while. He's been on Trident. And that was the Russian mix with them as well. And now they're looking to do some damage here in the tournament. They actually won the Winter Cash Cup last year as well. So let's not just rule them out just yet. But you know, they did lose quite early on to some of these teams. They lost to Uglum and For the Win, who I literally just mentioned, and they are actually qualified. So it's not like they dropped up some maps, but they're looking to continue their tournament lives here. aTTaX, they forfeited their first game against 777, and they're one of the most upcoming teams in Germany player-wise. There's a few names to write home about. They're the old Penta lineup, and they're doing quite decently. They've been in ESEA Advanced for around about 4 years now, and a lot of them are over 20 years old. So it's not a young roster, but they definitely got some experience. They won and eliminated Royals, who are no longer in this tournament. So they're no stranger to fighting for their tournament lives, and they're looking to do so once again. We're going to head over to the Veto very shortly now. And we've seen Singularity pick Nuke a lot of the times. So it's going to be interesting to see what is going to happen here. aTTaX, they will remove Dust 2 in the first Veto process. Singularity, I know they aren't too keen on Vertigo, so we might have to see what happens here. Immediate ban coming out from them. aTTaX now. This is the first map that they have picked, so we're going to see what is going to happen here. Okay, this is a good start to my afternoon. We are going to see Ancient immediately, and with that being picked, I can only imagine Singularity will be on that CT-sided map because it's more favourable. So Singularity for their map pick, they've actually transitioned into Nuke, and this isn't really, you know, anything to write home about. This is not too unexpected at all. I think they've played Nuke in every single series so far at HCG. It's a staple pick for this Russian side, which means we have Mirage, Inferno, and Overpass remaining. aTTaX removes Mirage, so it's between Inferno and Overpass for the final decider map, should we need it in this best of 3 series. And here we go then with Singularity removing Inferno. That means the final battlefield of choice, should we need it, will be Overpass. As always, whilst we have got a little bit of time before we do jump into Ancient, I just want to say a massive shout out to our sponsors once again. Plasma, a science-based esports nutrition drink made in Germany. It's developed by gamers for gamers. Whether you're a pro or a hobby gamer, we all know that losing concentration or a lack of sleep, it can be quite decisive. And I'm not running on too much sleep today, so we're going to see whether it is decisive. I need to get me some plasma. But you can Use the discount code at their website, HCG. You'll get a nice little discount over there. There's a giveaway on the HCG Twitter as well, so make sure you pop over there and just hit yourself in the giveaway. Obviously, it's free and you can win a starter package. And if you're right about the health benefits and all of that stuff, Plasma products are vegan, gluten, and lactose free, so nothing really to worry about. Obviously, we have CoinMotion, the leading crypto platform from Finland. It's for anyone who wants to invest in crypto safely and securely, regardless of their expertise in digital currencies. Obviously, if you want to invest, please do so at your own risk. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just a Counter-Strike caster. So, yeah, 1-2 so far, alternate attacks. They're actually going to deliver us straight onto this pick of Ancient. And I'm excited to see what happens here. This map is quite heavily CT-sided. And obviously with the buffs from the A1S as well, and the economy, it would just make it so. But here we are then, straight into this pistol. Quite a lot of utility for alternate attacks as well. Freezer's got double flash smoke, and Diladez is already being contested over towards Cave, but he will stand tall for the first couple of shots, doing wonders, and there is already a crossfire, and there's so much commotion. Celta finally gets put in the ground by Sky, but he's got it all to do here. It's a 1 versus 3. The bomb, it's down in the middle of the site, and it's a tall task for this T side. Seized will be the next point of contact, but he gets caught off guard. Sky, this is so winnable for him. It's now a 1 versus 1. It's all left onto Clax. He has team experience with Seized before, and he's going to need to help his seasoned IGL here. Sky has time on his side, so he's just kind of baiting out the clock, trying to see if Clax will overextend into this. Trying to bait each other out with the shoulder. The Glock, if it gets close range, it could do a lot of damage, and Sky has picked up the round. 1 versus 4. What an incredible start to this game. Singularity. They've almost thrown it away already on a pistol. These shots coming in are so precise, and it was really well played by Sky just to isolate these angles. Alternate attacks do convert the pistol after looked to be a ropey setup from them. Force Spike coming straight back in for this CT side. 3-man push. The double actually stack over towards this cheater position. This will be the main point of contention for Ancient. It will be over towards Cave and over towards middle. But that's a deeper smoke, and that's going to allow Diladez to have quite a lot of control over towards this position. The T's are just holding for any aggression right now. And Cello will find it. But he won't convert the kill, but it's information gathered for this German side immediately in the early stages of this second. The next battle will be between probably Celta, who's aggressively pushed in towards B ramp. I really like this from alternate attacks. They're being so disciplined. They're waiting for Singularity to push into them. But nothing is being conveyed over. 45 seconds on the clock. And with the kill coming in over towards B, the bomb, it is heading towards A based off the earlier information that Cello has gathered. We're splitting from Donut as well. The CT rotates are quite far away. Overseas, the veteran, he does pick up a kill with this CZ75. It's a 4 versus 3 in favour of this team side. But it will be a retake. Diladez puts Freeze straight in the ground. But there is advanced weaponry here for the T side. They do have a Galil and an AK. They've slided them up a little bit, and it's Sky to do it once again. Another 1 versus 3, and it's converted. Alternate attacks living off Sky's coattails right now. There's 2 back-to-back clutches in a row. So both of the economies are kept honest. Alternate attacks is a little bit healthier, obviously, to win in the rounds and also planting the bomb. Once again, lovely lineups, and Sky has started this game red hot. The money is not good, and you can see this stack in middle for Singularity. It's more of the same for alternate attacks. A very disciplined start to their T side on their map pick. Smokes are being redeployed. It's going to completely isolate these CTs in towards Donut, should these Galils go hunting. And the flash, it's good. In fact, it's perfect. Kisei with the immediate 1 dig on towards Maeve, and whilst it is a Galil only, it's still a rifle. On the other side of the map, though, freeze. There's no head armor on these CTs, so couldn't capitalize too much upon it. 4 versus 3. Singularity are looking to close this back off the back of just a pistol buy. The spam, it's good, but this boost, it might be just so effective for the Germans. Oh, the retake is in. The MAC-10, it's doing work. Orzek, he's trying to find the players, chiming in with his teammate Cello. The bomb is going to be stuck, though, just for a second, so I thought, here we go then, it's the full commit. Cello does eliminate the first player and stands tall for the second, but again, it's another 1vx situation. These rounds are incredibly close. We don't need Sky heroics here this round, it's all on Cello. But look at the money for this T side, despite winning 3 in a row, because it's been a 1vx every single round. It's actually quite frail. The CTs, they haven't really got too much to play with either on the side of their bank balances, so this round is going to define the next couple. Immediate 4-man lean over towards B. This is a staple for Ancient. Spam coming through from Dilladez, but won't find a single thing. Oh, but Celta's AUG bullets are just raining supreme. Sky's trying to build off the back of the last couple of rounds he has made for his team. Orzek does find the cave player. It's suddenly a 4 versus 3. These CTs are all attacking from one avenue, and oh, that Molotov, that's so unfortunate. It just bounced off the corner of the wall. But Sky can still find success through this smoke. The spam, it can come in despite this smoke, because this cave bit is wall-bangable. Oh, and it's so close. Orzek nearly eliminates the diffuser, but Singularity put a round on the board, and they survive with 3. It's not a bad start for them at all off the back of this gun round. Dilladez doing his best to slow them down in cave, and Orzek the spam. It's so unlucky from him. But Singularity, they do convert. So remember, Ancient is very CT-sided. There's more aggression coming in middle for Kisei. These nades are raining in. Look at the Molotovs over towards B. All of the ramp in cave is completely covered in flame, but that won't stop Orzek temporarily. Dilladez will find 2, and although that's the B threat eliminated, the bomb, it's heading towards A. And with the CT side weakened, it's suddenly a 3-on-3. But this time it's a change of approach, Singularity. There's going to be individual gunfights, but they're going to attack from multiple different angles. Donut, Temple, A main are all the points for contention. And it's just alternate attacks jobs just to hold the line. Cello is in such an off angle, but Celta spots him out. He's good for the second as well. It's all left onto Maeve. It's another 1vx, and it will be converted. The individuals of alternate attacks are absolutely shining right now, and they're delivering them the goods. Just a reminder, this is, I think, 3 or 4 clutches now in a row. Singularity did convert their first gun round. But yeah, it has been a 1 versus 2, a 1 versus 2, a 1 versus 4, and a 1 versus 3. Alternate attacks. If they can just get some sort of cohesion going, they could actually steamroll this Singularity side right now because the individuals are showing up in a big way. A reminder of the stakes to everyone who has just maybe joined us. The loser of this is eliminated from the tournament. All the same again, but this time alternate attacks. They have a lurk in mid. Spam of the Famous. It's going to do good damage, but it's not going to convert to a kill. As information is gathered over for this T side, but Clax does eliminate this mid presence. The flashes, they're good, but Diladez is just better. Freeze will eventually trade out the man, but it's a 3 versus 3. And they are grouping towards B. Are they going to be aware that there could be a player in Cubby? Cello's very diligent on the clear and will eliminate Seized. And I feel like I haven't actually said his name too much this game so far. Bit of a slow start at 2 and 5. But it's just been all alternate attacks, and they are heading back towards this B bomb site. The thorn in their side could be Celta, but because they're moving so slowly, he's not going to get information on the board just yet. It doesn't even matter with Cello converting that kill. It's just a 1 versus 3. It's all onto Clax. And he is going to elect to save, and it does make sense. Look at the left-hand side of your screen, the economy for Singularity. It's not there, and this is supposed to be a CT-sided map, but alternate attacks, they've come with a game plan, and they're here to play. The money is frail for this T side, though, so I can't imagine, unless they walk into him here, that they will hunt for him exclusively. Yeah, they're just grouping up just together, so unless they push all the way down and then clear a direct angle, they won't find any contact. Clax, silver linings for Singularity, does hold on to this M4, but that's about it. This T side have been absolutely dominant. It's the presence of these mid-lurks and the timing of it. It's just rooting Singularity's rotations. It's not allowing anything to come in, and quite rightly, a pause needs to be discussed immediately. We're 7 rounds deep already. Just going to talk about the money situation for this side. Just what they're going to do. Nice little flash and screen for the sponsor. Use code HCG for 10% off, quite rightly. There's also a giveaway on the HCG Twitter. So make sure you enter that. Not a heavy investment around this M4, so Clax has to be the hero for Singularity into the 7th. A plan of attack has changed for this German team. They're all grouping up towards mid. And this donut smoke, it's going to mean they're going to actually just go through middle and wrap the CTs in their spawn. This change of pace could definitely catch these CTs off guard, and with this stack coming in over towards B with the boost, no one's home. And this is going to get very scary for this CT side. Look at the map. Oh, CZ75 will convert. However, just keep looking at what's happening on the side of your screen. Maeve eliminates from the back lines. It's all the A bomb site. It belongs to alternate attacks. And yes, it's just pistols, but there's a gap in mid and it's incredibly exploited. The round's not done yet, though. It is a 3 versus 3. However, the weaponry and the time, it does favour alternate attacks. Clax is still alive with this M4, but time it's ticking down and there's no kit on the board. Probably just electing to save this once again. The Sky in the back lines will do no such thing. It's interesting that they are going for that because they haven't got a kit. So, I don't know. It's a bit interesting. However, they get there. But look at this. Look at this wallbang. It's good, but it's not the complete answer. And also attacks are running away with it right now on this T side, and it looks like they're going to just storm it over towards A. The Molotov fire spread, it's raining in towards middle, and it's all down to this AWP of Kisei. He has to do it all. The rotations aren't going to be here in time, with Sky eliminating him as well, but it's all Kisei. Good for the third as well. It's suddenly all thrown into contention, and this AWP Singularity might have just brought them back into this round. However, Freeze has caught a bit of a time, and it is going to head again towards a mid flank. Seized might communicate that there's no one home, but it's exactly the opposite. The bomb is on Sky's back, and just waiting for Freeze to make contact. It's now a 2 versus 2, and look at how much this has split the defense. Freeze has found even more success in towards middle, and Celta isn't convinced it's going to be the A attack, and is just heading all the way over to CT. It's these mid lurks once again. It's just catching out Singularity time and time again. And Celta has got it all to do here to give his team a shot back into this 8th round. The time is now ticking. He's put the pieces together. He's playing ahead of the smoke, though, so he could deny the bomb. The spam is going to reveal his location, though. He's good for the first. He can't transition onto Freeze. He was absolutely clinical into that round, and has just strengthened alternate attacks once again. 7 rounds to the good. Singularity, they need to adjust for this. Yes, they put the early utility down into middle at the start, but it's the mid-round adjustment from this German side that's just catching them out. They're being completely torn apart here on the first map. This is alternate attacks' map pick, though, so it makes sense that they're so strong. We're not done yet. There's still a long way to go. Reduced to these SMGs. Orzek just absolutely eliminating the competition. It's going from bad to worse for this Russian side. It's a disciplined approach, even so. They're still 7 rounds up, but they're still being so patient. There's already been aggression shown, and they just want to eliminate it. Look at how diligent they're being with their utility usage. This T side is being so clinical, and even with the grenades and the threat over towards Cave, it's all a bit of a ruse once again, as the bomb it's found success on A, and it's continuing to do so again. Orzek has kept 2 players here right now. And whilst that's a lovely shot, the bomb is just going to be planted for free. It will be a 4 versus 3. But it's just a case of whether Singularity even wants to go for this. They have invested, and the money, it's still not ideal for them. With the loss bonuses, they can drop overseas. They can repurchase. They might even be able to afford a double AWP, and we saw how effective Kisei was over towards a bomb site. So this AK save is actually quite huge. But the rounds have still been close. This is why alternate attacks are just sending this flank in of Freeze once again, just to hunt these players. It's going so well for them. It's all left onto Celta, but this is the player you need alive if you're Singularity. It looks like he will get away. So very, slight silver linings. Some nice deagle shots, but it's not going to be enough. The rounds, they do need to start to be converted. Singularity, you need to show us what you've got. You're fighting for your tournament life. This isn't how you're going to be wanting to be remembered in HCG Masters Season 1. His grenades are good, and the spam, it's even better. Seized, trying to drag his team to a second round. But whilst all of that has been going on, the T's, they're posturing their attack towards B once again. Orzek catching players with grenades in hand. The spam, it doesn't connect though. Bilodez, this is such an important gunfight. And even staying alive, because it means that alternate attacks can only be reduced to attack from one angle. This AWP of Maeve is just peering in though. And it could find success. The flashbangs, they're great. With the crossfire, it's even better. It's all left onto Orzek. We've seen 1vx situations being converted, but not this time. Celta lights his name up in the feed. And Singularity, they're onto a second. Lovely little bait and switch as well at the end there. Celta picks up the pieces, and just a reminder, this is a very CT-sided map. Singularity would be looking for probably 9 or even 10 rounds on this. So 7, it's not the best, but considering if they could achieve that, it'd be incredible considering what we're seeing out of alternate attacks. It's a faster B play, and the spam, it's there, but it doesn't convert once again. Instead, it's this double AWP setup that is proven to be the difference maker. On to be planted, and once again the utility at range strong for this T side. They're isolating all of the angles. Orzek is even pushing the extremities of long. And Celta, whilst he does get a couple of crucial kills, it's all onto Klax. Has been left unchecked and does spot the first player over towards ramp. Playing the trigger discipline nicely here. He's let him go again. Just trying to find this player. He does eliminate the first, but there's simply no time on the board without a defuse kit and alternate attacks. Off the back of the change of pace, off the explosion, off the bomb site, will convert their 9th. And it looks so good in the early stages of that retake as well. Celta doing all he can with this AWP, but it's just not enough. The German side are just overwhelming Singularity here on Ancient. And this could just snowball even further. After investing into these double AWPs, the CT side, they can buy, but it's still not going to be the best. But it's Kisei once again on this AWP, about to be tested. Already seen heroics once, and he needs to do it again. And suddenly, all the CT kills are lighting up the feed. It's an early 5 versus 3 advantage for the CT side, and this is a lifeline that they desperately needed. And the mid flank, it's now being held. Actually, he's playing anti-flash. Sees, this will be quite scary. Corner about to be checked. Who's going to win the gunfight? It will be the veteran. And then Sky hits a lovely timing over towards Donut. It's a 2 versus 4. It's still difficult. Seized has readjusted. Will eliminate Sky. Shadow's in this 1 versus 4. It's going to be extremely difficult for him. But at the moment, the bomb site is currently uncontested. The CTs are just playing retake. They want to secure this round. The bomb plant here is actually quite important. But he just looks away at the wrong time. Seized with a 4K. Does it all. It's really good work from him. At Singularity, they build into a third, but it simply could be a case of too little, too late. 9-6, winning the pistol. These all sound good in theory, but they need to execute it in practice. Alternate attacks giving them an opportunity here. We've just upgraded Deagles and a solitary AK, but it looks to be this B rush once again being the optimum opportunity of assault. We haven't seen a 3-man lean on B too often for Singularity. Instead, it's always been this default of 2-1-2. Because of the prior conditioning. Oh, that's a lovely shot. Because of the prior conditioning, this is exactly what is happening. This late mid lurk, it's now being countered for. This is the difference maker for Singularity. And with Dilladez just lighting up the scoreboard, Cello being eliminated in towards middle. Whilst it was expected, it's happy days for Singularity. It's good that they managed to convert it. 9-4, it's starting to look a little bit more respectable now. And with all of those players staying alive, the bank balance, it's good for the rest of the half. And it's the complete opposite story for alternate attacks who are just reduced to these Glocks. It's Operation Bomb Plant for the T's right now. Money in their pockets going into the last would be very good. And it's going to be quick. It's going to be a complete mowdown for Klax, the ace coming in. 9-5, Singularity step by step and making a comeback. Easy as you like, this spray down from this Russian player. Well played by him. It is just against the Glocks, but it's definitely a confidence builder. It's something you want to maintain. And just like that, last round of the half. An aggressive approach in towards Cave. Dilladez wants nothing to do with it, just trying to escape with his life. But this early smoke and aggression, it could change the tides for alternate attacks, who have been taking Cave a lot later. But with this Molotov eliminating the threat over towards Ramp, it has actually kind of isolated the bomb a little bit. But of course, Singularity won't know that. That information's for you and me only, but this boost, it's finding opportunity. The B-bomb site, they've been successful already on it. Alternate attacks are looking to do the same here. And it's completely fine just to spam through because I already know you're there. This is where the T's are grouping, and there's still only 2 men here. This conditioning from the T side has been so effective. Whoever seized, he will find this kill. The spam, it's not being converted from Sky. Aziz is going to capitalize and pounce upon it once again. It's suddenly a 3 versus 3 with that lovely entry by Orzek. He's trying to put the numbers in the favor of Singularity and seized Martradom Molotovs. It's all onto Maeve, but this could be dangerous. There is a flank on the cards, but the time, maybe it's just too low. 13 seconds left. There's no way the bomb could be planted now. Yeah, it's just too late. Klax just needs to live for just a couple more seconds. Singularity building back into this CT side at the end. After that was an incredibly dominant performance for the initial side for alternate attacks. They built so many rounds in a row. If you join us after the break, we'll be back with the second half very shortly. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. Here we are then. Second half of the first map of this best of 3 tournament, lives on the line for both alternate attacks and Singularity. It looked a bit dangerous as this T side of alternate attacks were building a lot of momentum, but Singularity eventually started working out the pieces to counter the onslaught of aggression. 9-6 favouring alternate attacks is the score at the half, and hopefully we can jump straight back into the action very shortly. Thank you once again for being here. This is the second week of HCG Masters Season 1 Regional Swiss stage. The winner of this will then obviously retain their tournament lives, heading 2-2 in the bracket. 3 wins is what you need to progress with €3,000 in your pocket. Lose one more best of 3 series for either one of these teams, and they are eliminated. And it's actually going to be quite a banger here. We're starting off on Ancient, then we're heading to Singularity's map pick of Nuke. And should we need it, the decider, I believe it will be Overpass. And I know both of these teams favour it quite a lot as well. So we are set for a long journey here yet. And it all begins on Ancient with this T-side pistol round coming in for Singularity. A quick B execute is about to fill the feed, and double dualies. We're seeing it more of a meta nowadays, but it's a USP of freeze. But look at how much space this T-side have taken over. Oh dear, the dualies, they do eliminate the bomb planter, and this allows the CTs just to move in ahead of this cave smoke. Blink and you'll miss it. Celta, he can't do anything either. Alternate attacks start off the CT round dominant. And it looks to be such a plus that Singularity had all of that control, but it doesn't matter if they didn't have any forces in towards cave. If you're the CT side, they grouped up, they just exploded together. Denial of a bomb plant is a free kill, because obviously there's no gun in hand. Double digits on the board, and a full save coming in for this T side. They want rifles, they want to make the game close. They would love a bomb plant. But look at this mid-aggression coming out for this CT side. A flash is about to be popped over towards Shelf. And Dilades is about to be collapsed upon. Reinforcements not even needed. Orzek does eliminate that threat. And suddenly, alternate attacks have a lot of map control into the 17th. And it's just getting worse. The spam, it's perfect. Seized and Celta with it all to do. And with so much map control being gathered, it's only a matter of time before they get eliminated. And there we are, MP9 farming so much money as well. Orzek up to 5k with an M4 already in his hands. That was the full Glock round, so Singularity, they are going to be buying here. Lovely graphics coming out. Once again, but here we go. Singularity, they need to build back into this now. They're down 5 rounds. And they're heading towards A. All 5 are already grouped up, so this could be a faster assault. With the donut player being occupied in middle by Seized, it just leaves one defender. Make it 2. The rotations, they're extremely quick. Alternate attacks have a read on this, and Orzek's going to be baited in. He's just going to stand still. This could be absolutely huge. They're not going to check him. He's playing the trigger discipline. And suddenly he pounces, but only good for 1. The kills, they're all falling Singularity's way. It's a 4 versus 2, but Sky is on the flank. It's being held and will be dinked down. 2 versus 3. Make it a 1 versus 2, and they know where Sky is off the back of the previous information. Kise on the boost. Singularity, they find their 7th, and the results come with the AKs. I tell you what, alternate attacks, they felt like they had all the pieces to the puzzle there. They had the rotate. They had the trigger discipline as well, but it doesn't matter. Singularity winning out the head-to-heads. And it's actually just an interesting narrative, that, because originally those alternate attacks were the individual performances building them into this game. But you can't rely on individual heroics forever. And it's the fast A play again. There is a lurk from Seized in towards mid. This could catch out some of the CTs. They're already scurrying away. Look at the minimap. It's only Cello here. Bomb to be planted. Surely this is a Singularity 8th. And the CTs, they just want to hold on to what they have. Even Cello running away. This armor is too valuable for them. M4, FAMAS, a couple of MP9s. It's not much, but it's something to build upon. It means you can just reset and go again. There are 5 alive for Singularity, so they could send a couple of hunters, but the crossfire, it's quite strong. So I don't expect them to find anything too dramatic. But this is well played from Singularity. They are building back into this game slowly. And it's good to see. Celta's having a great game. 17 kills on the board for him. If we're talking T-side and who to look out for, it's going to have to be, for me, Celta and Seized. Seized, who's already been doing some mid-lurking, so that's going to be probably quite impactful. Over for the side of alternate attacks, Freeze has been having a lights-out game as well as Orzek, so watch out for those. Number 6, number 0, number 1 and number 3. That was a lot of numbers just to throw at you. Instead, we're heading back straight into the action. Cave control is the destination for Singularity. But this early lean off the back of mid control gathered for this CT side could be their undoing. If they even choose to elect to go for it, there's a push in over at A main as well. And it just conveys all this information. 1 minute left on the clock. It looks to be an absolute brawl about to hit the B-bomb site. There are smokes and there are flashbangs, and they're going to have to be absolutely perfect to get alternate attacks off the angle. This boost coming in as well, it might catch Seized unaware. However, as soon as I say it, they do dismantle it. Classic. But here we go. 30 seconds, the bomb site. They're playing ahead of the smokes, but the flashes, they're just absolutely perfect. And the kills, they all fall Singularity's way, and they do secure the 9th. Playing ahead of the smokes was a gamble for alternate attacks, and the flashbangs, they just proved too strong. And a pause is coming in now for alternate attacks. Just a reminder, they had such a dominating start to this game. I believe they were 8-1 at some point. Singularity have built right back into this game despite losing the pistol. 2 rounds just separate the score lines between these two sides now. And just as a reminder, this is alternate attacks' map pick. And after being so dominantly in the lead, if you do let this slip, this could be a real mental hurdle to overcome. Because then you're heading into Singularity's domain of nuke. Full buys can come in, a couple of Thamuses. It's not ideal for the German side. However, they're going to aggress in mid and get in the faces of the T's, but full blind or not, Klax will delete out the server. But damage has been done. C's has only got a sliver of HP remaining. And there's good map control being gathered for this CT side as well. Cave and Donut is quite contentious. And actually the T's are just completely reduced to T-spawn. They're just trying to see if there's any more aggression coming out from alternate attacks. And it's all quiet here in the mid stages of the 21st. It's going to make Freeze doubt. It's going to make Freeze want to gather some information. But Klax will silence him in the ground. There is another push coming in over towards B ramp. And off the back of the information, the rotate, it will come in again. 5 versus 3, but the rotates, they are here for alternate attacks. And they could do even more damage. The Kisei silences the first, but Sky is here in support. Klax in the back lines will actually whiff the spray, but it will catch Orzek's attention. 3 versus 2, this round is by no means done. But with no kits on the board, alternate attacks, they need to get a move on and make a decision. And they elect for the save. And once again, this is quite sensible. They need to invest all of their utility going forward as well into this one, and all of the firepower. And when you don't actually have the money to do it, it can be quite difficult. So now we are one round being the difference maker between these two. Singularity have overcome quite a lot. We're looking to do it all again. Whilst we have got this moment, once again, shout out to our sponsors. Have to draw attention to them because we wouldn't be here without them. Plasma, use code HCG for 10% off. CoinMotion, crypto-based platform in Finland. Making it easy for you to invest into crypto. Alternate attacks in this round haven't invested in very much at all. Have come away with some of the save rifles, but P250s fill the remainder of these players. The boost, it could catch off Seized. He's caught with his pants down, and Kisei will bail him out. We'll actually double up onto Orzek as well. This AWP has been absolutely shining for Singularity. And just like that, it's a 3 versus 3. The flashbang, it's good, but nobody is there. Diladez being diligent. And Klax has walked all the way out A. And with Cello only having a P250, the bomb site, it now belongs to Singularity. However, there is a quick flank. Look at Maeve. Never mind. Don't look at Maeve. Diladez has taken off his scalp. So, 1 versus 3 for Freeze. Has an AK. Definitely going to save this. And we're all tied up. I actually cannot believe we've got to this stage. Just the way alternate attacks were playing. They were winning clutch after clutch. They were bailing themselves out of opportunity, but Singularity seems to have got their act together. 11-11 will now be the scoreline, and this is looking a little bit scary for alternate attacks. And just this completely eliminates what I said pre-game as well. I highlighted, oh, this map is incredibly CT-sided, but we're seeing a polar opposite here today. The T-sides are being the decisive factor for these two teams. And whoever can crack CT side will win the game. 6 rounds was Singularity's best efforts. Alternate attacks, they need to match it. But these quick shots coming out from Kisei are just incredible. And Cello left it all to do with the P250. It's not going to really yield much success. Round 23, we're all tied up in what feels like forever. A full buy can come out, an AWP onto Maeve. Alternate attacks need to boast up a reasonable defense. Fully invested here. Apart from Freeze, obviously, with that saved AK. So, lose this and it could be disaster. But the Molotov kill, it does eliminate Diladez. But are they aware of Seized? He's already pushed so far in towards middle, just tucking his tail in between this box. And if he goes unchecked here, this could be absolutely massive. And he strikes. Sky put down into the ground. 4 versus 4. Cave control fall in the way of the T-side, but Orzek is going on a walk. Joined by one of his teammates as well. They're looking to capitalize and catch Singularity out with this aggression, but the AWP is holding the line. Might not expect Freeze. But Celta does. 4 versus 2. Everything is going Singularity's way, especially with that kill on towards Maeve. It's all left onto Cello. The money, the time, it's not there. 4 versus 1. Singularity are going to take the lead. And it's crazy how we've got here, right? But it just is the team cohesion of Singularity right now overpowering the individual performances of alternate attacks. And while Cello will try his best to retain onto this AK, the buy around it is not going to be very good. Freeze could drop maybe a couple of rifles. So it's not the end of the world. But Cello needs to survive here. In Singularity, they could have kept throwing bodies at it because their bank balance is absolutely swelling. So here we go. Singularity, for the first time in this game, have taken the lead. Can they hold on to it, or can Alternate aTTaX bounce back? We're about to find out. AWP in the hands of Maeve. Haven't been singing his praises as much as I have of Kisei, because the difference is just so evident. But the adjustment is made and the early aggression, it comes in. And the grenade, it's early damage, but it's not a conversion. And this AWP of this A-Lurk once again from Klax, he's finding all of the success. But it hasn't phased the CTs. And while Singularity are currently grouping towards this B bomb site, it's where 3 defenders lie. Freeze is going to push and find some success. He's good for the first, but he needs to either stay alive or inflict more damage, and he does exactly that. Seized and Klax all left alone in a 2 versus 4. With 40 seconds on the board, though, Seized is just going to hightail it all the way over because Klax had all of the aggression over towards A, but it's no more. Cello neutralizes him, and suddenly it's a 1 versus 3. There's 25 seconds. Seized, we know your experience, but I think this is one task too far for you. And there we go. Alternate aTTaX. I think this is the first round on their CT side since either the pistol or the second anti-eco. That's been the conversion. And it's all based off this aggression. And that kill's so important for Cello. The round could have been going a completely different way. But instead we're here. Round 25, all tied up, 12 to 12. Early Molotovs filling up middle. The aggression, it's there for the CT side. Maeve, the AWP has not been working, but the M4 will sing out. An early 5-on-3 for Alternate aTTaX. The Klax is there once again. He's been the thorn in Alternate aTTaX's side right now. Over towards middle and A, always finding opening picks. And off the back of the kill in middle and the fact that the map control has been given up, look what it's done to the rotations. It's just left a player so far pushed in at CT. And Alternate aTTaX are giving ground. They want to deal with this mid player. And Klax's sheer presence alone has allowed the B bomb site to be opened up. But with this kill falling the way of Alternate aTTaX, they can now rotate. Bomb to be planted, but it's a 4 versus 2. It's a very difficult situation for this T side. Especially Molotov filling the lead. It's all too much, and Sky delivers the final nails in the coffin. Alternate aTTaX, they get the 13th. It's the first time in a long time they've got consecutive rounds in a row. This was 8-2. And now it's 13-12. Singularity have so much money. That won't phase them just yet. So the full buy, it will come in once again. But actually, the funds are looking a little bit sparse. Whoever wins this round will have complete control over the economy. So it's do or die for both of these teams. And it's once again this early cave control, and finally Maeve gets a kill in the feed, make it a double. But the T's, they are exploding, but Orzek says no. aTTaX has been instrumental over towards middle. Can he do it over towards B? No. Alternate attacks, they've now got the game in the palm of their hands. It's a 1 versus 5. Good for a couple of kills. And spotted a player out towards short. Here's the spam from Cave, so knows where 2 of the players are. But he is being encircled. And it's only a matter of time. Alternate attacks secure their 14th. And they're probably thinking, why is it taking us this long to finally gain our momentum back? And as I highlighted the money, it's not all there for Singularity. They will buy into this. But they've only got a couple of Mac 10s. But it looks to be B. Once again, B in the heavy point of contention. We see it all too often. The utility, it's good, but Freeze is still alive. This grenade does great damage onto those players, deterring them further. Sorry about that. But it is a 4-on-4. The A lurk of aTTaX doesn't find anything. And it's once again this B bomb site. The double push in towards middle. There's going to be a fast flank. The boost, it doesn't find any success, and what it does do is can relay information. But they have to be aware of this flank. No one is currently holding over to Max Cave. It'll be the responsibility of the Mac 10, and he's good for 2 as well. Singularity, they're building back into this game. They're taking it brute force style. And Celta will even grenade himself for good measure. But 14-13. AWP to be retained, put in the hands of Maeve, more than likely for alternate attacks. But Singularity, they do not want to give this up yet. Sky's got a lot of money, so can drop it over. We see the replays as well. That Mac 10 went absolutely huge in towards Cave. We do see the Martyrdom grenade. So full investment for both teams. This game, you cannot write it. It is so close. But rather than B, it is now A for Singularity. And nobody's home for alternate attacks. Instead, 3-man stack in towards middle, ready to meet Seized. And he's getting a lot of information here. But he will be put into the dirt. Smokes will eliminate the donut angle, though, and alternate attacks are going to have to battle back for this bomb site. It's going to be a retake scenario for them. 4 versus 5. This angle for Dillades could be everything. 2-pronged retake coming in. Cello with the spam. 3 versus 5. Things are going from bad to worse. For this Singularity side, there's only so many places they can be. aTTaX lighting up the feed, but the trades, they're good for Singularity. It's a 3 versus 2. One of the players hasn't made himself unknown. It's Kisei still. The bomb, it's not being stuck. And I just don't think there's any time on the board. Singularity, they do even it up 14-14. They stayed alive so well there. And in all of the chaos, the bomb, it just could not be defused. Cello with the spam, but Kisei doing it all, just living for as long as he could. And Singularity tied the game up once again. And look at the money now. It's all flipped on its head. Alternate attacks. They can now force buy into this, but it's not ideal. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel. MP9, FAMAS M4. Not what you want at all. And it's now a change of pace. The boost, it will find success. Singularity trying to take Alternate Attacks' map pick away from them. Disciplined approach coming out from this T side has netted them the early advantage, and it sets to continue here. Molotov in all of the close choke points to enable them out over towards B ramp. The grenade, it doesn't find as much damage as they would have hoped for. But again, it's a gamble stack for Alternate Attacks. And it looked to be correct, but look where the bomb is headed all the way through over to T-spawn. There's only one defender here on A. Make it none. There's no presence in middle, but a smoke will draw the attention. Singularity, if they move quick, they're going to find that nobody is home. The bomb site, it will belong to them. And Alternate Attacks will have to do a botched 4 versus 5 retake on this A bomb site. Singularity have put all the pieces together. The bomb plant, it is there. If the retake comes in, it begins now. But these players want to hold on to what they have. And quite rightly so, the money is simply not there. Singularity being allowed to convert onto a match point. They strike first, and they could deal first blood in this series. And it was really well played from them as well. The aggression coming out from Alternate Attacks. They've been doing it quite frequently in towards middle. C's spotted it out the round prior. And the more reserved approach yields success. Singularity on map point for the first map in this series. On Alternate Attacks' map pick. And I'm really not surprised to see this. A pause comes in. Alternate Attacks. They need one round to keep it into overtime. Just taking a breath, just deciding what to do. This map has gone the distance. Round 30 out of 30. Upgraded rifles will be purchased, of course, scraping all the bits of utility they can together. But here we go then. The countdown is looming. The final round, potentially, in this map. It begins now. Double aggression coming out once again. We've already seen this from Alternate Attacks. And Singularity want to take Cave. Freeze does only have an MP9, but it is in an advanced position. And may find in the first kill as well onto Kisei. That's a big threat eliminated for this Singularity side. And it's silver linings, but they're not out of the woods yet. 4 kills is what Alternate Attacks needs to send this into overtime. Singularity obviously do not want that to happen. Cave control being gathered. The flashbang, it's not perfect, but Freeze will not reveal himself. The Molotov will touch his toes, and he'll now have to evacuate. He'll do significant damage onto both of those players. Being re-flashed in. Cave control, it still belongs to the German side. That's forced Singularity into a bit of a predicament here. They have to go in towards middle because the CTs are so far advanced, and this is where Maeve could strike. Passes the first challenge perfectly and now can just tuck in. AWP won't find any success. And Cello, he's just tucked in. He could win this round here for alternate attacks. He goes completely unchecked and frees in the back lines. Alternate attacks, they do convert all the way over to overtime. And I can't believe it. We are here again. 15-15. And the game deserved it, really, if I'm being honest. Alternate attacks leave it late to strike back. But we are going to be headed into overtime very shortly now. Obviously, 16,000 fills the banks of both of these teams. First to 19, that is the magic number. 18-18, we go again. Full buys coming in for both of these sides. Look at all of this early utility being rained down on the map for both of these teams. Mid aggression is the aim. Why wouldn't you, Sky? 27 kills. Looking to increase even more damage onto these Singularity opponents. It's the same old story for this T side though. 4 players just grouped in towards ramp. The late cave control and the spam, it's good, but it's not there completely. Orzek going to go for another walk in towards cave, and they have played this angle quite a few times, so Singularity should know it's definitely a possibility. However, there is a little bait and switch. Find the first point of contention, but Orzek stands strong, and he's going to go hunt the AWP down as well. Doubles up for alternate attacks. It's a 5 versus 3. The T's are sent into complete disarray. But Dilladez will be there to silence the cave player. 2 players remain on this B-bomb site in a lovely crossfire for the German team. And with the rotations moving away, there's only 20 seconds left on the board, so the bomb, it has to head towards B. And once again, based off the information in towards middle, the stack, it could be successful. And that's the nail in the coffin. A perfect flashbang from Maeve Clax. It's just simply too far away. Eliminates the AWP, but it doesn't matter. Alternate attacks, 16-15. Whilst the crossfire was shut down initially, this flashbang did everything for this German side. Finally cementing themselves onto the scoreboard in a decisive manner. Just keep an eye out on the mini-map. And just look at all the Molotovs that are just filling up the feed because it's explosive every single round. It's hot in the depths of Ancient. And Singularity, off the back of that hot streak, have forced it into overtime. And now looking to make things spicy. But Orzek, once again, this is another kill falling the way in the favour of the German side. They're finding the entries left, right and centre here in the later stages of this game. And this could definitely be the difference maker. We've seen players do incredible things in Donut so far, but Cello has been sprayed off the angle, and this will allow 2 of these players to creep in towards Candles. The flashbang is there, but the player majority, it's just too overwhelming. 2 versus 5, and it's the old reliable B bomb site. They're going to clear it out, but they don't actually have the bomb on their back. So it will be a recon mission. Dilladez completely baited. And Self has got it all to do. Obviously has to go for this. Can definitely rebuy. 28 seconds on the board is a tall task. But we've seen some individual heroics on team side before. But it won't happen again. 17-15 alternate attacks. Once again, probably scratching their head and thinking, why couldn't we have done this sooner? But instead we're here. In towards overtime. This double push in mid from the German side found so much success. There's once again Sky being the difference maker on this B site, anchoring it down. And entrusted with a lot of responsibility. And Singularity, they need to post around here. They don't want to be entering at CT with it all to do. And that's a good start. The AWP finally fills the feed for this T side. But look at the map control being gathered. Once again, you do have Klax working his way over towards A main, but that is a definite certainty for alternate attacks. He's been there every single round of this T half. And the grenade, it's good. The flashbangs, they're even better. Orzek continuing his reign, being supported by Sky. It's all alternate attacks in the feed. And Klax, they know where he is. A little bit of a knife party going on in between middle. But he will pass the first test. 1 versus 3 to give his team a fighting chance heading into the second stage of overtime. "45 seconds on the clock. The crossfires are about to be in for this German side. And I feel like it's only a matter of when, not if, they convert this. And there you have it. Sky, once again, lighting up the kill feed. Putting the nail in this Singularity coffin. 18 rounds alternate attacks have. They just need 1. Three map points separate from Ancient Attacks, leading the series heading into Nuke. And this game has been absolutely explosive. And I wouldn't have it any other way. These two teams are fighting for their lives, and Orzek, once again, he has been the difference maker for this German side, lighting his name up every single time. Maeve with a rare missed shot, which could give an opportunity, but Cello, instead, he is the mid-lurk for this German team, making things even worse. With Maeve locking in some of these kills, it's all left onto Celta. The damage, it's good, but the numbers, they do not favour the CT side. Okise so far away, it all lies onto Celta. This smoke, though, there's a big gap. And some of these players are low, but he will be cleared. Orzek, nothing gets past him. And Cello lights up the feed. Alternate attacks do it in overtime. 19-15. And wow, what an incredible game from them. They do take their map pick of Ancient. And then they want to head straight onto Nuke. Singularity, it is their map pick. And should we need it, we will head to Overpass. But thank you so much for watching. Join us in just a couple of minutes. We'll be back for this explosive series to continue. And welcome back, everyone, to HCG Masters Regional Swiss Series 1. I'm B Dog, aka Brandon, and we just saw one hell of a map to kick off this series between Alternate Attacks and Singularity. Alternate Attacks on their map pick of Ancient. They got it going in the really early stages of it, but then Singularity then built back into it. It took us all the way to overtime, and then it was a clean sweep. Alternate Attacks took him out 19 to 15, and they have the momentum heading into the second map of the series, which is Nuke. This is Singularity's playground. They absolutely love this map. They do pick it in every single best of three opportunity that they can do. So no, they're very unfamiliar. Sorry, they're very familiar to this T side, which I presume they will be starting off because obviously they picked the map. So Alternate Attacks will pick the side. Just a reminder of the stakes to everyone at home. This is 1-2 right now in the regional Swiss. 3 wins is what is required for you to progress. If you lose 3 games, you are out. So we are losing one of these two big teams here today in this series. The story is set, the stage line, it's ready. Alternate Attacks, can they do it in 2? Or will Singularity force us over to overpass? These are all the questions, and the answers will be revealed very shortly. However, we do have a couple of minutes before the game goes live. So, once again, thank you to our wonderful sponsors here at HCG. We have Plasma, the science based esports nutrition drink. All of the products are vegan, gluten, and lactose free. Use HCG at checkout for 10% off. And check out the giveaway on Twitter. CoinMotion, the leading crypto platform from Finland. I can tell you more about those later because we're straight into this immediately. Apologies, but the pistol round, it's already kicked off. But no action has filled the feed just yet. The T side are collapsing on towards ramp, but Maeve says no initially. But some whiff shots mean it's suddenly a 3 versus 2. Freeze has got it all to do with this CZ75 and immediately eliminates the first challenger. But Klax is there to silence him. 2 kills to the good, and it's all left onto Orzek. He was absolutely instrumental on Ancient for this CT side, looking to do it all again, and that's a great start. Goes for the 180, but Kisei silences him. Singularity, it's their map pick, and they take the pistol. And we have to reiterate, Nuke T side, it is quite dangerous. Not as challenging as it once was. Obviously, this is the most consistent Nuke iteration we've seen in the map pool so far. Remember, we went through having huts, having a window. There was a second vent you could actually jump down. There was a balcony all around the outside of the building, but not to be. Instead, this is the most consistent, and it's fairly even. 6 rounds here for Singularity, and they're laughing anymore, and it's just a bonus. Alternate aTTaX would love to get this done in 2 to keep their series alive. But CS has got something to say. Silencing outside once again with a Mac 10, and he's all the way down in towards control room. This is a typical reaction from the CTs. You'll see this quite a lot. If outside has been taken or compromised, a hut push will come in. And Freeze will be there, but Dilladez initially was there, but suddenly it's a 2 versus 2. These 4 spies, they're coming down to the wire, and this is similar shades of Ancient. Last map, it was the individual heroics of alternate aTTaX, and this time Singularity have to pick up the pieces. Smoke will come in. That will not be for the bomb. And despite the 4 spies being here, there's no kit on the board. So the time, it does favour Singularity, especially with this door open. It could cause some problems, especially with Dark being completely unchecked. The crossfire, it's immediately there. Singularity secure the second. And off the back of the 4 spy, alternate aTTaX could not get anything going. Reduced just to the USPs. Pause for a second there in case any upgraded pistols were to be purchased. Just the one on Orzek. It's only a P250. You see this upgrade. After control over towards Squeaky. Orzek is here and has had his toes tickled with the Molotov, but it'll actually be Maeve lighting up the feed. Seized, I think, has spotted out a foot. He has. This grenade's going to do massive damage. He does finish the job with a wallbang. There is a Zeus in towards Hut, and that could be quite scary, but instead it's more of a disciplined approach. On Ancient, Singularity had a lot of success because alternate aTTaX often went searching, and as quick as you like the feed, it's all red on blue. Singularity looking to cement their third. With only 1 casualty, that'll just be an incredibly good round for them. But Cello has got something to say about it. But it is a Mac 10, and it's not the most ideal weapon for the job. And Seized will eliminate him. It's been a really quick pace to the early stages of Nuke. Singularity, 3 rounds to the good early. But it is now the full buy coming in for this CT side. Maeve on the AWP. Flashes of brilliance in the first map, looking to replicate the same form of success. And because Singularity are constantly winning with not too many casualties, and AWP has not been purchased for them, simply because Kisei has still been alive. The Molotovs and the grenades is absolutely perfect. The AWP doesn't even have a chance to be entered into the round. Whilst there is a trade back, it's the heavy investment for alternate aTTaX. It's already paying I'd say interest, but Orzek eliminates Seized, who's often a key figure to watch on outside. He's been sneaking around the back lines quite a lot in the early stages of this game, so keep your eye out. Number 6 and also Clax number 7 are the two players I want to look at for Singularity. Freeze and... actually, Orzek and Sky on the side of alternate attacks. As soon as I mention his name, he goes down. Orzek does drop. Leaving it all onto Freeze. He does have a Heaven support in Sky. The timing, it does favour Singularity. And with Sky overextended to try and trade the deficit, it's all left onto Cello again in a 1 versus 3. This is the second map of the series. Alternate Attacks won their first map of Ancient. We are now here on Nuke. This is Singularity's pick. Should they win it, we'll then be heading to Overpass. And it's starting off strong for this T side. They're grouping up, they're hitting the timings, the trade spacing is all there. They're all reading off the same hymn sheet. And it's Alternate Attacks' turn to reflect and rehearse and go over their mistakes and pick up the pieces. It looked to be so good as well, because it was the early advantage falling the way of the CT side, but it's this overextension that gets punished by a double swing. And it's all Singularity in the feed once again. Force Buy will come out for this CT side, but it's just MP9, so it's got to be Cello, who has this saved M4 to really get it going for the German side. Instead, it's going to be a quick ramp split. But that's all it is about it, it's just quick. The hut and the lobby push, accompanied with ramp, it doesn't find any success. Singularity, they further exchange their lead. 5-0 now. Celta with some lovely shots as well coming in towards ramp. But based off the loss bonuses, Alternate Attacks can buy again. AWP of May needs to get something going. These floor grenades are being lined up to litter the bomb site with flame. As you can see on the map, it is all coming in. But it's all a bit of a ruse, because the T's, they're already on B and they're planting the bomb. Cello is here, about to enter in towards ramp. And Orzek will be on this rotation from Secret. Dilladez. It's all smoked out, but all the kills, they're falling the way of Alternate Attacks. It is now a 3 versus 4. Singularity just looking to run this clock down. There is only one kit available, and that grenade will do huge damage. Dilladez is the first challenge to overcome for Alternate Attacks, but the flashbangs, they just keep raining out. It's a double stack in towards single door. And there's simply no time. Singularity further extending their lead. See if they can get out alive from this one, and they do. 6-0. Damn. And yeah, I think we had a slight HUD bug. So just to reiterate, Alternate Attacks. It says Singularity 1 on the top right. They did not. Alternate Attacks 1, map 1. So we're sorry about that. We will try and get that fixed. The Singularity need to win this map to force it to a third. There's a different approach for this CT side into the 7th. Orzek, he's letting them walk by. If he goes unchecked here, this could be absolutely huge. With Sky inflicting damage on towards Clax. And Orzek finding success onto this AWPer. It's all falling apart for Singularity. They are all split up as well. And the bomb, it's been completely dropped. Over towards outside, about to be retrieved by Seized. And with Dilladez in the back lines, just causing chaos. He'll actually get 2 kills, but freezes in from ramp. He's actually swung this round back into the favour of Singularity. Based off those 2 kills. And there's time to play with. The rotations are incredibly split. 1A, 1B, but Heaven is being held. This West Celtic is about to maybe meet his maker. It's a game of timings once again, but this utility, it will alert Cello's presence. But it doesn't matter if he can't win the duel. Freeze. He was at ramp initially, and now he's got it all to do a 1 versus 2. If he even decides to go for this, but you have to get around on the board at some point. It was Celta low. This isn't out of the realms of possibility. Kit on his back. He's got the time to work with, and he gets the high HP player. It is all left onto Celta, who can't stay in the Molotov. And he's just going to stick the bomb. And this will be alternate attacks, maybe conversing the round. Pros, they definitely don't fake. Freeze, he puts a round on the board for this CT side. Pause coming in straight off the back. It's actually aTTaX that call the pause as well. It's just a tactical one. But yeah, to reiterate to those at home, I see a few questions in the chat. The HUD is a little bit bugged on our end. Singularity did not win the first map. Alternate attacks did. So the actual scoreboard in the middle of the screen is correct. Singularity, this is their map pick of Nuke. They need to win this map to force it to a 3rd. Whoever loses this is eliminated from the regional Swiss stage of this tournament. Whoever wins this has an opportunity for a tie-break game to then advance or be eliminated. So there are the stakes. I hope that's a little bit clearer. Alternate attacks have hopefully got a clearer picture in their mind how they want to address this aggression from Singularity. A contact play outside could be the difference maker. The Clacks finding success early. They're just going to burst on towards main. Orzek, he does stand tall, and Freeze does one better. Lovely double kill. It's all left into the hands of Kisei. 1 versus 3. Cello so far pushed up. It's a double. It's a conversion. It's 2 rounds in a row. And whilst this won't phase Singularity initially because they can buy, they don't want to have happen to them what occurred on Ancient. They don't want the momentum to completely slip. So here we go then, it's more of the same. It's a lot of grenades flying in, a lot of lobby presence for this T side. Just holding for any aggression coming their way, but it's not to be. It looks to be A to be the avenue of attack. They might even burst just off these flashes. The smokes, they're good. They're denying the angles of opportunity. But this AWP is dropping into the site like an angel. And it's just back and forth trades. This is only going to favour the T-side's economy longer term. And Orzek can't find any of the pieces. It's a 1 versus 1. This is highly contested. Dilladez versus Cello. 1 minute on the clock. 2 HP, the difference maker between them. Dilladez biding his time, knows that Cello was the thorn in their side. Over towards lobby, but it will be him that converts it. Alternate attacks, 3 rounds in a row, half the score deficit. And this will be the last remaining buy for Singularity if they do lose this one. So they're all in investment-wise, but the rounds have been so close. And as I was trying to highlight before, if the rounds, they're scrappy, the CT economy is so fragile. You need utility, especially on nuke. You already see some of the consequences. It's another fast approach. The flashbangs, they're great. And Singularity lighting up the feed once again, but it's more trades. Completely filling the feed. It's a 3 versus 2. Defense, it's in from heaven. It's just left onto Cello again. But Seized puts him in the dirt. Singularity, they convert the 7th for them. So they will be able to buy once again. And the fragility of the economy is showing for alternate attacks. And if they do elect to force into this, it's not going to be pretty. But here we go then. Round number 11. This first half has come and gone so fast. Klax is the AWP player for this one for Singularity, presumably because he had the spawn. He's been so impactful on this AK. Seized, about to line up a hut molly. And these A hits have been working, for the most part, for Singularity. And they're just up against USPs, but look outside. There is a big, fat lurk from Orzek. He's gathering a lot of information, which has enabled a 3-man lean over towards A right now for the defenders. But the avenue of attack is ramp. Maeve will just fall away. B bomb site. It will belong to Singularity unless Cello has anything to say about it in the short term. Just tucked in on this bomb site. There is another player supporting him in control. The rotates, they're here, thick and fast. And Singularity, they don't even need to commit to this, but they will. But with the players revealing themselves, and obviously just up against the USPs, quite naturally, the stage is set for Singularity to convert the 8th. But Orzek will try and deny the bomb. The time, it is low. But it will be planted, but the P250 sings in the feed. However, it is near impossible. Singularity, 8 rounds now. And on paper, it was definitely going to be the case that this always was going to be the outcome of this round. However, it looked a little bit scary in the interim with all of the rotates. But nevertheless, Singularity do convert. The buy, it is here for alternate attacks, but it's not ideal. So we have this 2-man aggressive lean outside trying to counter the C's lurks. But these topside hits, they've been working for Singularity, and if it isn't broke, why would you even try and fix it? 3 men to the good here, and garage control is now being taken for this T side. Oh, but as the smoke fades, it could be a little bit of a timing scenario. Orzek has eliminated C's, and then we'll double up onto Diladez as well. This is an opportunity for alternate attacks to convert. 5 versus 3, and Orzek's on 1 HP. The players are all grouped in towards lobby. The plan of assault is reconvening towards ramp. This AWP might need to find impact early. This boost will enable to see deep into ramp, but nobody's home. Instead, it's a bait and switch. The AWP of Maeve is going to take a shot, and then Cello might swing out. But instead, it all goes quiet. 30 seconds left on the board, and the T's are bursting out through Squeaky. There are 2 players here still on this bomb site already, if you forget the heaven interaction. Oh, but Kisei and Celta, they're doing it all. It's all left onto Kisei, but there's 10 seconds left. This is near impossible, but he does find this kill. And with the bomb being dropped, it can be planted, but I assume Cello's just going to swing out, and that's exactly what happens. I tell you what, that looks completely unwinnable, but Singularity are surprising me time and time again. Some lovely shots coming in. Even a no-scope to boot. But Cello once again being the saviour for this German side, locking in a fourth. But man, oh man. You're on CT side nuke, this isn't what you want. So instead we have another adjustment. One-way smoke being deployed for Orzek over towards Secret. In fact, he decides against it. And I doubt that they know he's crossed this far in, and I don't think he's actually played in Secret at all. Oh, but he runs straight into the gunfire, and suddenly all of these T's, they're barraging down onto this B bomb site. C's finds another. It's going from bad to worse for alternate attacks. Singularity, they need to clear their angles. With Maeve playing ahead of the smoke, he will find success, chiming in with Sky. And it looks so promising, and now it's a 2 versus 3. One player on A, 2 on B. And outside, whilst it does belong to Singularity, they've got it all to do here. Klax and Celta, who's got low HP initially. It looks like he's just waiting in towards Secret. Klax's sole objective is to either make an opening or find space for these rotations. Maeve's internal timer has kicked in. And is looking towards heaven, but the outskirts is where Klax has climbed. He'll soon alert to Celta that there's nobody home for this defense except for Lobby. But he doesn't know that yet. And Sky does eliminate the first test, but Celta 1 versus 2. Might have heard Maeve jumping, but it doesn't matter if Cello is there once again. Cementing his name into the alternate attacks feed. That's another clutch situation where Cello has been so instrumental. 8-5. And this is shades of Ancient, except it's the other way around. Alternate attacks are winning that 8-2. And then Singularity built back in. And we're now seeing something incredibly similar. 8-5, it's all to play for. And I think this is the first time we've heard the Windows break in a while. Reduce the Tech 9s, they're running through the spam and the gunfire. Seized will hear the vent drop. And I'll even catch out Orzek. However, there's just too many players here initially, or so I thought. It's all left on to freeze, but the spray, it's a little bit wild. But he does stay alive, and this is so important because it means that the rotates, they can come in. And the bomb, it's completely isolated over towards Dark. And the Molotov, it's going to burn alive. It's only left on to Seized, and he has got a minute on the board to play with, and he is flanking. He's the seasoned veteran of this entire server. Donned the Na'Vi jersey for 4 years. Might be rolling back time here in this 1 versus 2. There's a player in towards Dark. Information being conveyed over towards Decon, but actually it's all a bit of a fake because this CT is aggressing over. 30 seconds now. And Seized will pass challenge 1. But there's a little bit of a danger lurking with him in the smoke, but he does find the kill. Seized 1 versus 2, the experience shining. And Singularity convert a 9th. And it's just brilliant from him. He isolates the 1v1s perfectly, and it almost feels like it was maybe a jump-in shot, but nevertheless, it gets them over the line. And Singularity build back in. 9-5 we go again. Last round of this first half. And the CTs are reduced to pennies. On paper, this is a Singularity 10th, but I've seen crazy things happen with pistols. Especially in this tournament. Orzek, so good at finding the entries when alternate attacks need them most. But it's this outside hit that's going to isolate and reduce all of these short-range angles. Maeve, though, in a slight off angle, nearly doubles up, but can't quite convert. But it's heavily softened up Dilladez for the rest of his team. Pistols can be quite scary if you've got them close range. So this is why Singularity have opted for outside. And once again, it's a story of trading back and forth. It's now a 3 versus 2. But Freeze, he goes unchecked. This could be so big here. He could win this round here and now for this German side. He just needs to delay, and he does. Orzek cleans up Klax from top, Hart, and suddenly alternate attacks have a lifeline back into this. We saw this on Ancient, and they eventually won their map pick. Singularity, they now need to win theirs. But this is incredible. Join us in just a couple of minutes. We'll be right back with the second half. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. This is the second map of the best of 3. You join us here on Nuke. We are here on Nuke. Singularity have taken this 9-6 right now, and they're heading on to the favoured CT side of Nuke. So it's going to be all up to alternate attacks. And the question is now, can they do this in 2? Or will overpass be needed as a decider? The stakes are high. The stage is set. We're getting right back into the action very shortly. Just a reminder for these two teams, whoever loses this is eliminated from the tournament. 3 Swiss stage wins is what you need. However, it's not the case so far. Alternate Attacks did it on their map pick of Ancient. Looking to do it here on Singularities for Nuke, but the Russians have the slight edge over the Germans coming into this one. I've been told that there is a technical timeout on the screen, so you're going to have to put with me for a little bit longer, I'm afraid, before we can jump straight back into this one. However, it's been very good. I see a lot of people in chat rooting here for Singularity, and thank you so much for being here. The score currently is 1-0. Alternate Attacks have bested Singularity on Ancient 19-15. On Nuke right now, it is 9-6 in Singularity's favour. They posted 9 rounds on their T side. They're heading into CT now. We're just into a little bit of a pause, so you take a breather with me, and then we'll get back into the action. But stick around because this isn't the last game so far of the day. After this, it will be Onyx versus Los Reyes on the B stream. If you want to go to the A stream right now, they are streaming Squad versus Offset. Same situation. And then Sangao versus Budapest 5. The winner of that match will go through straight to the main stage. So it's all to play for here in the second week of HCG Masters Season 1. Just a reminder, this is a €180,000 prize pool tournament. Yeah, thank you for being here. Sorry about the overlay bug as well. It does say that Singularity won map 1. That is not true. Alternate Attacks did. So, once again, sorry for the delay. I'll get you the game as soon as I can make it available to us. But until then, We're going to go to a break. I'll see you shortly. And then hopefully, when we come back, we'll be into the action. So stay tuned.
They say you don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. And no, I don't wanna be alone in the world out there. They say you don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. And no, I don't wanna be alone in the world out there. Into my illusions. You make me drown into my emotions, into my illusions. Break me down into lots of pieces, but it is my turn now. I'll be a siren off to you, make me drown.
again for the delays. We're just having a little bit of tech issues on the server, but they should all be resolved now. Is Alternate Attacks versus Singularity. Alternate Attacks picked up the first map 1915 on Ancient. We're currently about to get the second half underway on Nuke. This is Singularity's map pick. They won the T halves 9-6. So we're looking back to get straight into the action now. Singularity, they need to win this to bring it over to Overpass. Alternate Attacks are looking to get it done in 2. Once again, thank you to our sponsors once again. So I just want to talk about Plasma and Coin Motion. Plasma, science-based esports nutrition drink developed by gamers for gamers. Whether you're a pro or a hobby gamer, we all know that losing concentration or lack of sleep can be decisive. Plasma are doing a giveaway right now on HCG's Twitter, so make sure to check that out because you might as well enter it. I mean, it's just a free giveaway, and you can win a Plasma starter package as well. And then if you do want to check them out, there are panels down below. Make sure to go and check those out as well. And whilst you're down there, make sure to follow HCG to be keeping up to date with all of the tournament live. And I'm sorry for the rambling. Hopefully we can get into the game very shortly. I know I want to be looking at Nuke right now and not me. But regardless, if you do like what you are hearing right now, then, you know, if you want to feel some love, you're showing a bit of appreciation. It is Valentine's Day after all. It would mean the world to me if you wouldn't mind dropping me a little follow above as well, as I just hit my microphone into you. So sorry about that. Very professional here. But Coin Motion, they're a leading crypto platform from Finland. Whether you know a lot about crypto, we don't know a lot at all. It's for anyone who wants to invest in crypto safely and securely. So once again, they're in the panels down below too. We are about 1 minute, I'm told, from going live into the game. So the stakes, they are set. I will repeat them once again. Alternate Attacks, if they win this, they eliminate Singularity from the regional Swiss stage of this tournament. And they pocket maybe €3,000 if they win their next game, which will take place tomorrow. Singularity, it's the same result. It's the same implications. They win this series, they knock Alternate Attacks out of the tournament. But they've still got a way to climb. They've got to take Nuke first, and should they need it, they'll then head to Overpass. But I'm sorry for all the delays. There's just a little bit of tech issues. We should be getting back into the action very shortly. And we can talk more about Nuke. We can see where this game is going to be heading. And I, for one, am really excited. If I'm being a little bit biased, I hope that Singularity do take map 2 and we do see a third out of this, because this game, it has delivered so far, and I don't really want it to end. I don't really want any of these teams to be eliminated, but that is the way the cookie crumbles. This is the Swiss format. The reason why they got here, Alternate Attacks, they had to forfeit to 777 in the first day. And then they beat Royals coming into this. They are now eliminated. But that's enough of that. That's enough of the rambling. Let's cut to the jibber jabber and get straight into the gameplay. Alternate Attacks are on their T side. Singularity, they're on the defense. I don't have a mini-map, but that's okay. We've got full Kevlar instead. We've got double smoke and a flashbang. And Orzek is opening up the round with his P250. And there's quite a few players here grouped early in lobby for Alternate Attacks. And Orzek is continuing his domination outside. About to be silenced by Dilladez, but the avenue attack is A. There's a player into main to contain this outside presence of Klax and Dilladez. Bomb to be planted, 4 versus 2. We have another smoke being put down over towards main. The kit, it has been retrieved. But it looks like that's all it'll be for Singularity. Alternate Attacks, they're about to convert the pistol. And they're going to make the game a little bit closer. And this is exactly how they would have wanted to start. A quick A split with the outside presence of this P250, doing it all. Alternate Attacks, they do hit the 7th. So it's promising starts at the T side. They are buying back up now. Force buy coming out straight away for Singularity. And the windows, they are being broken. This will be a staple for the T side because they don't want to give any sort of indication when they are actually executing on towards this A bomb site. Presence is going to be met in hut freeze, the first point of contact. And the Mac 10 spam, it's not good enough. There are a few defenders here for the A bomb site for Singularity, but the smokes, they are being lined up to isolate main, and the outside presence smokes are being thrown as well to further disrupt rotations. Alternate attacks, it looks like they want to head into this bomb site. But they're just taking their time until the word is go. The flashbangs are perfect, and Freeze is capitalising upon it. Twinned in with his teammate. All of these kills, they're fall in the way of this German roster. It's only Seized and Kisei, the Scout, and this CZ-75. It's not ideal. And it's not going to warrant them anything. Alternate attacks move within 1 round to equalising the scoreline. And obviously they're against a full buy, and they have got SMGs. So they're overwhelming this top bomb site with a lot of utility and a lot of flashbangs. They were absolutely perfect to instrument this complete assault. Lovely little replay. There we go. The HUD has been mostly fixed on the top. We are going to get into a bit of a sticky situation for Singularity. Only reduced to the pistols. Obviously, they've got the force buy-in of the Scout, as Seized did retain that FAMAS. But that's all she wrote for this CT side, and Alternate Attacks have got a little bit of an opportunity here to convert, but it's Seized on this FAMAS. He does open up the round. And it is a 4 versus 4. Early denial grenades being thrown, but German side want to exploit ramp. Just holding for any lobby aggression, but there are 2 forward-facing CTs to meet him, but Sky passes the first challenge, but it's Celta. He's running them down with the CZ. It's all spiraled into complete disarray for Alternate Attacks. I literally just highlighted that it might have been an issue for Singularity, but instead it's the Germans who face all of the problems. Orzek, 1 versus 3, but Klax is in the back line. Singularity, they pick up their 10th. And that was off the back of not a very good buy at all, and that's only going to help their confidence. I don't really too know what is happening with the HUD, but let's not focus on that. Let's focus on what we know. Outside smokes being thrown for the Germans. The buy, it's not ideal at all. Top hut molly about to be raining down. But Klax is here to defend it. This back site Molotov is going to force this CT out of position, but it's all on Klax. He goes unchecked, converts onto Cello. It's a 4 versus 2. Some lovely deagle shots are filling the feed, but it's all she wrote so far. Singularity about to maintain their 11th. Unless these 2 players have got anything to say about it, they will make it down the vent. So B, it will be theirs initially. But the immediate rotates, they are coming in, but Orzek is here to deny. This is such a lovely off angle on the spray. It continues, but Seized, he's just better. Diladez does catch out Maeve as well, and Singularity, they will defuse the bomb and get the 11th. Just about. There we go. Just retrieving some rifles and AWP. Oh, All the tricks, all the trinkets for Singularity. And the veteran Seized, who did used to play on Na'Vi, does cement in this round. It's going to be a faster approach for alternate attacks. They're just trying to get round main. And Cello, he'll actually find Celta. Suddenly they all just bombard down these vents. The rotations, they are here for Singularity though. And they are finding the kills. 4 versus 3, but it's currently a 3 versus 3 on the bomb site. We do have a map now, so we begin to see things a little bit clearer. Seized will eliminate one of these alternate attacks players. The clacks in the vents will silence Orzek, but freeze. I don't think he can deny this bomb being defused. But actually, they can't, what are they doing? They can't find the kill, but it doesn't matter. They eventually get there. It all looked a little bit harebrained and scary. But they will find it. Singularity, they get their 12th. Alternate attacks, they're just reduced to these deagles. And it's going to be a little bit tricky for them to get anything going, especially with Clax getting the entry for Singularity into the 21st. Outside is the approach for this T side. A bomb plant here would be perfect for them, but currently it resides in T spawn. And there's so much pressure coming in from lobby. Some of these alternate attacks players, they're already so low. The wallbang, it confirms it. 2 versus 4, and these Ts are isolated. And Orzek, he does appear from the shadows out of the vent, but he cannot convert a kill. It's Maeve on this Glock. It's a 1 versus 4. It looks completely unwinnable. And Seized will secure it. Singularity, they're onto their 13th. And the wall bang is just crisp and clean. Singularity, smooth sailing for them in the early stages of this second half, despite losing the pistol round. Actually, and the round after, but they have got 13s, so they're 3 rounds away from tying up the series and maybe sending us to overpass. Seized with quite a passive look in towards Garage. If Orzek dares to try and cross main, he will meet his fate. Celta relying entirely on Seized to get the job done. A lot of these Ts are posturing towards outside here. So Seized is about to meet contact, but the flash, it is good, but Seized, he does get the first. A good damage on towards Sky, a dink for his troubles. 4 versus 4, and there's a lot of these Ts outside. They've got a lot of the map control on the right-hand side of the map. And Maeve's AWP is starting to shine in this feed. 3 versus 3. It would make sense for the Ts to head down towards Secret. Instead, they're going to reset and they'll walk straight into Clax. "40 seconds on the clock, but the bomb, it has been retrieved. So this is still well within the realms of possibility for this German side. They are grouping up together as well, but they don't actually have the correct trade spacing. But suddenly it's 14-8. It's not 13-12. The score, it's a lie. in the top right. Let's not rely on that. Instead, it's 14-8 to Singularity right now. A pause is coming in. This is for the T side. Alternate attacks denoted by the red being T, the blue being CT. We all know it. We all love it. It's Counter-Strike. But alternate attacks, their backs up against the wall here on this T side of Nuke. A few things to discuss. Firstly, the money for them, it's not ideal. They are looking to force into this. Left-hand side of your screen, Mac 10, Galil's all coming out for alternate attacks. They're ready to throw everything into round 23. Outside smoke's to be deployed, but it's great damage already onto Orzek, who has been an absolute pain, to be quite frankly honest, for Singularity. Instead, once again, Clax. It's quite impactful, but it's this burst completely onto the A-bomb side, but it doesn't net anything. Celta's name in the feed, and Diladez is here to meet him. 15-8 to Singularity. They're one round away from converting their map and taking it all the way to Overpass. Obviously, alternate attacks are going to force into this, but the weaponry and the utility is quite spare, and it's quite sparse. 7 rounds of perfect Counter-Strike are needed for this T side, and they're going to elect to run down ramp straight into this AWP. Yet to be tested initially, but is here with Diladez. But they both stand tall just for 1 kill. This AWP is being hunted down, and suddenly it all gets a little bit contentious. 3 versus 3, and the bomb, it has been dropped. So 2 of these players are towards ramp, and there's another player outside. But Freezy can't connect the dots, and Celta will capitalise. It's a 3 versus 2. The game hanging in the balance for alternate attacks. $50 seconds on the clock. 2 kills is what separates Singularity from map 3, and Clax cements it. Each one of these teams have converted their map picks. We are going to head straight away in towards Overpass. This decided map. Whichever one of these teams loses is going to be eliminated from HCG Masters Season 1. But join us very shortly after the break and we will bring you Overpass. Don't go anywhere. It's one to watch.
Walk into the room, wanna see it's them flash. Cameras out and on me, flash. Fly as a plane on a runway. I'ma be a big star one day, flash. Can't afford to lose focus, flash. Step on stage and all the girls go flash. Straight to the hole like I'm MJ. And I'm on point like a switch, flash. Walk into the room, wanna see it's them flash. Cameras out and on me, flash. Fly as a plane on a runway. I'ma be a big star one day, flash. Can't afford to lose focus, flash. Step on stage and all the girls go flash. Straight to the hole like I'm MJ. And I'm on point like a switch, step on stage and all the girls go flash. Straight to the hole like I'm MJ. And I'm on point like a switch. Flash. Walk into the room, wanna see it's them flash. Cameras out and on me. Flash. Fly get a play on a runway. I'ma be a big star one day. Flash. Can't afford to lose focus. Flash. Step on stage and all the girls go flash. Straight to the hole like I'm MJ. And I'm on point like a switch.
It's fine. It's just the only one.
Body state of mind, dancing with somebody under cherry skies. Body state of mind, dancing with somebody. Body state of mind, dancing with somebody under cherry skies. Body state of mind, dancing with somebody. Dancing with under cherry skies, under cherry skies. Dancing with under cherry skies, under cherry skies, under cherry skies. Dancing with under cherry skies, under cherry skies. Dancing with under cherry skies, under cherry skies, under cherry skies.
Welcome back, everyone. This series has really delivered. This is the first best of three I will be taking you through out of two on the HCG Masters Season 1B stream. Alternate Attacks versus Singularity. They reclaimed their map picks of Ancient for Alternate Attacks and Nuke for Singularity. And now, tournament lives on the line. It will all be decided on Overpass. I just had a quick look at some stats for HLTV in the interim, and I couldn't actually find anything for Alternate Attacks. However, they have played it once in HCG Masters so far, and they did lose 16-8 against Budapest 5. And oppositely, on the side of Singularity, they have a 75% win rate in the last month on Overpass, but it's a very small sample size. They've only played it 4 times, and they've won it 3. So this map, it's all up in the air. Whoever wins this will remain in the tournament. Loser will be eliminated. They're playing for a chance to progress to the main stage of HCG Masters Season 1. If they do so, they advance with €3,000 and a stab at making the playoffs. But here we are. It is 1-1. We're brought to you by Plasma and CoinMotion. CoinMotion, the leading crypto platform in Finland. Whether you want to invest in cryptocurrency safely and securely, regardless of your expertise in digital currencies, give it a go. But here we are, straight away onto Overpass. The knife round, we're underway. There's not too much to write home about when you talk about a knife round. Not really too much I can really commentate about, apart from Singularity have just won it. So I imagine they will elect to stay on this CT side. Nice little camera angles coming in. Thank you very much to Swelder, pushing all the buttons for me today. But yeah, as I said, Singularity, they do stay on this CT side. For Plasma, you can use code HCG for 10% off. All information for that will be down below. But here we go. Seized with a kit, double flash. The experienced vet from Navi has already shown his worth in gold so far for this Singularity side. 4-man lean early over towards Playground, but this double long setup could look to do some damage, but it's the long-range Glock of Maeve finding all the attention. Celta only good for 1, but immediately traded out. The early stages of this pistol round, it looks to be in Alternate Attacks' favour. They've even got to play it pushed in just to hold this aggression from Kisei. Really tucked in towards that club position. And I'll tell you what, this could get a little bit dicey, especially with all of these T's rotating in. Kisei, if he finds the head of a few of these players, oh, it could be incredible. He even escapes with his life. The flashbang bailed out by his teammate of Seized. But the long-range Glock fights, they continue to shine. It is a 3 versus 3. The Molotovs are obscuring the vision. If you're closer to the Molotov, it means you can see further in it. Don't ask me how it works, I just know that is why. Seized is eliminated, but takes one with him. 2 versus 2. And these closer range encounters would normally favour the Glocks. They know one player is in towards CT, but unknown circumstances for the remainder. He's actually in heaven. And the CTs, they need to start sticking the bomb. Kisei doing his best to body block. But Cello, once again, he will double up and bring Alternate Attack success. So instrumental on Nuke and looking to continue it here. And it all was looking a little bit dangerous, but some lovely Glock headshots to precision for the Germans. 1-0 to the good. With Overpass, once again, you're going to be looking at short control and also bathrooms being the main point of contention for this map. That's exactly what alternate attacks are looking to do here. 2 players to the good in short already. As Singularity have invested, they are doing a bait and switch setup over towards Monster with a double boost over towards Long, but that's not going to find any impact. Instead, the attention, it's all on this crossfire. But these grenades over towards Diladez are absolutely massive. Celta is going to need to sold a dream here. But this aggression from Long, it could catch out the terrorists. They are being pincered in. They do have a minute on the clock. It looks to be more of the same. It's just who wants to break first. And Celta, he's going to be unchecked. He hasn't been cleared. He's got behind them. He needs to go huge here. Lines up the first, but doesn't find the second. It's only 1 kill, but he is still alive. And he is causing disruption. They don't know he's here. And he's going absolutely huge. It's all left onto Freeze in the 1 versus 2. The flashbang, it's perfect, but Celta can't line them up. Going for 4 kills in this round. But it's now a 1 versus 1 seized. What to do here for his side. And the headshot angle, it doesn't favour Freeze. Incredible heroics coming out from Celta. Completely unchecked. 3 kills to the good. And Singularity even up the scoreline early in this decider map. Look at these lovely shots. And thank you again to these replays production. It is most certainly on point. But the Force by Wars, they are electing to continue. And Connector is where all of these T's currently lie. Apart from Freeze in towards Monster. They have elected to head out in towards Fountain to see what they can find. Just waiting for any early grenades to be thrown by Singularity, but eventually avoided. And there actually isn't much utility on either side, really. There are quite a few smokes to deny some map control. But nevertheless, it's the toilet presence from alternate attacks. Plax has been spotted, but will eliminate the first presence. But Sky is here to trade out his friend. But he can't get it done. Instead, it's Freeze coming through the smoke. But Orzek has pushed up so aggressively, this might catch out Singularity. There are rotates coming in from Connector, but I'm more worried about this player in C. And he will get eliminated at Bank. 3 versus 2, but they might not expect the rotates to be here so fast. And they don't. Maeve, he has eliminated Diladez, but it's all left onto Celta. Might have an idea of where he was from the steps, but it all goes quiet. And he pre-fired truck beautifully, but Orzek answers the call. Alternate attacks, they win that round 2-1. It's a little bit unlucky there for the T's, who are just going through the smoke and can't find the success. But Orzek, he's been so impactful this entire series and looks to continue his domination here on the decider map. Loser of this goes home, and neither one of these teams want to do that. It's a mishmash Force by War once again. Oh, this could be a triple boost coming out for Singularity. They're going to peer over right in towards middle. And Kisei finds the headshot. Gets run boosted away as well. And that's absolutely fantastic from this CT side. And that opening pick, it's just left the T's looking to regroup and take map control as a unit. As mentioned before, toilets and short is what the terrorists want in order to orchestrate rotations from this CT side. But with seized on the CZ, he does headshot Sky, and that's the bomb dropped. But look at the backlines here. Look at Clax and seized. He's doing it all again. He doesn't need a rifle. He just needs this pistol. Orzek has been the hero once already this map, but needs to do it again now. 1 versus 5. It's a tall feat to ask for him. But he's going to give it a good go. 25 seconds. Needs to get a move on. Does eliminate Celta, but there's simply too many CTs and the clock is running ever so thin. Instead, the aim of the game now is to save onto this M4. If he can manage so, but that's all off the back of Clax and C's just going completely unchecked in towards toilets. Singularity once again evening up the scoreline. Such a lovely kill, and it's a really nice innovative idea. And C's with the double with the CZ. And I thought we would have had an eco by now from one of these teams, but it's not to be the case. These don't know when to quit. The door is blown off connector to enable some support for these CTs over towards short. It makes taking connector for alternate attacks a little bit more of a challenge. But they have been able to get Fountain quite free most of these rounds. Has been toilets letting them down a little bit. There's actually 2 players in towards connector right now, and this could catch alternate attacks off guard if they're not careful. But conversely, 1 smoke is all they're needed to neutralize these threats. But as Clax once again, he's just been so impactful. And there's also a wallbang kill coming out on the scout. They're running away, and they're running straight into Seized. Once again, Freeze, the sole attacker remaining for this German roster. 1 versus 5 with the Deagle. Got a little bit more time than his teammate Orzek. It seems to be even more difficult. Did they? Okay. So they accidentally knifed each other, and this bait and switch was absolutely perfect. Celta cementing the round in for Singularity, 3-2. Just a reminder, whoever loses this is eliminated. And finally, the Force by Wars come to an end. It's taken 6 rounds, but here we are. Just onto these pistols for alternate attacks. A bomb plant here for them would mean the world. And Clax is here to shatter it. Once again, it's an early protocol of taking connector and short for this CT side, and it's just allowing them so much time to play with. Clax knows that he's got presence in short, and he can just be allowed straight back up connector. The flashes, they're so beautiful, and he's good for 2. These Ts, they really want this bomb plant down. They have got an M4 to work with, so it could go in their favour. However, with the numbers deficit, it's going to allow Singularity to have a 2-2 split. But Seized, he's now all that remains on this A bomb site. Might get caught out by the aggression over towards long. But he's just playing a slight off angle, and this could favour him. That's even if they elect to go for it. Instead, Celta, he's now the next point of contact for these Ts, and this smoke is going to buy Singularity so much time. It will actually force them straight into this A bomb site. This is where Seized was all along. He drops the bomb, but he can't convert the second kill. Alternate attacks, they're going to be allowed a plant, and suddenly it's a 2 versus 2. Make it all onto Celta. They might not be aware he was the connector player, but nevertheless, they have got someone watching this angle. And Cello, 4 kills to the good. Alternate attacks fight back 3-3. And that was a pistol round for alternate attacks, and yet they convert it. It was only pistols. They just don't want to give up. The money is still there for Singularity in this one, but losing this and you're in a little bit of trouble. The AWP of Kisei just wants to eliminate threats, but he can't spot anything over this smoke. There's no totem pole for him today. Instead, it's the boost over towards Playground that is trying to counter out this long aggression. And it might be offered up to them. Actually, I don't think it's going to be that at all. I think instead it's going to be a bait and switch. First contact coming in on this AWP, going to allow Clax to strike. Jump spotting coming in just to bait out any form of aggression. But whilst the setup is over towards long, the T's are going to come and sandwich it. And this could be quite dangerous for this AWPer, and he does fall. Maeve was ready for Clax, but not ready for the double headshots. 2 kills strong, keeping Singularity in this round. Celta on the other side of the map will eliminate Orzek. Suddenly it's a 2 versus 4. This contact play, it could catch out the barrels player, but Celta, he's just on a one-way. Singularity 4-3. That's really well played from Clax. He needed to stand tall here over towards long, otherwise the A-bomb site, it would have just been completely overrun. And Celta replicating his efforts over towards B. Alternate attacks, whilst they won at the previous, they've lost this one. It's going to be a faster avenue of approach, perhaps. But the buy, it's just not amazing. Have forced into it, but they just have these pistols. And once again, heading towards Playground. I've seen this quite a few times, but Clax has been so imperative for Singularity this entire series. And he's just doing it once again. Celta going for a bit of a gimmicky play again. We've already seen him get a 3k deagle from this spot, from going unchecked. I doubt alternate attack's going to let him do it again. About to creep into his presence, but he's only good for 1, but Diladez does double up. It's a 2 versus 3, and these trades, they definitely favour Singularity. But it has sent the rotation scrambling. Nobody's home on the A-bomb site, which Freeze is about to find out. Only armed with a P250, but he has got the most important piece of the puzzle, and that is A-site control. How long he can hold it for will depend on how quick Cello can get to his position. It's going to be seized rotating up, but this advanced position may catch him unawares. It gets a little bit tricky when Clax is rotating in from connector. But the smoke is going to allow him to cross. And he is going to plant safely. So they didn't force into this with much, but they now have a bomb plant and Freeze. 1 versus 3 to hold strong, but the AWP rings out. 2 rounds in a row for Singularity, and that could be the straw that breaks alternate attacks' back for now. Because the buy, despite the bomb plant, it's still not going to be ideal. Singularity get consecutive rounds on the board for the first time in this third map. Once again, Plasma, our sponsors, flashing up on the screen. Make sure you use code HCG for 10% off your purchase. Alternate Attacks have purchased very minimal into this, buying down to around about $2,000 per person. Orzek with this hero AK. It looks like they're going to run it in once again towards short and connector. There's normally been a presence for Singularity in connector to meet them. And once again, it is Clax. Oh, but Dilladez doing all the work over towards short. The fact that this grenade is blowing off the door in connector every single round is just enabling rotates and double up swings so easy for this CT side. Whilst Maeve does get one, that's going to be all she wrote. Singularity 3 rounds in a row, doubling Alternate Attacks' score lead. And a pause will come in. Tactical pause for Alternate Attacks. And quite rightly, they can't let this snowball. Tournament life on the line. They can buy into this utility. It's not going to be ideal. Could afford a couple of smokes, a couple of flashbangs. They need to adjust to what Singularity are doing. They're having most success over towards long. Have not seen a quick execute out of them yet on this T side, so there could be a factor as well. Have seen a rush B, but it's been delayed. AWP still sits in the hands of Kisei. These Molotovs, they're going to deny time and space. And Clax is hungry and wants more kills. But once again, these Ts are electing to push into Playground. They need to clear him, though. And there's a totem pole coming out. But it's actually been spotted. The AWP, he's so aware of every angle. And they're not going to spot Clax either. Singularity, this is beginning to spiral. It's a 5 versus 2. Cello finally has connector control, but at what cost? It's his entire team. Seized is ready and waiting. And Dilladez is there for the final nail in the coffin. Singularity 7-3. And even though he missed the first shot on the boost, he doesn't miss the second. Such a nice off angle as well from Clax, just further enabling himself. 13-4 in this map. Trying to get Singularity over the line. Here we go. Just these Tech 9s. It's going to be a faster rush in. Or so I thought. Instead, it's just going to be a full commit. Splitting in between Short and Monster. Dilladez, first avenue of contact, and he will stand tall. 2 kills to the good, but Celta on the other side of the map can't replicate. The Clax is here. And once again, he's just raining terror on towards Alternate Attacks. The bomb, it's not even going to be planted. A wallbang does come in. And now Sky on 4 HP has only got the Deagle to work with. The Clax says no. Singularity further extend their lead. 8 rounds on this CT side. And the secret for Alternate Attacks to unlocking this map is to neutralize Clax, because he has been absolutely impactful. Once again, he gets 2 kills. Yes, it's against the eco. Yes, it's against the pistol, but this man is multi-killing every single round. He cannot be stopped right now. Alternate Attacks, they finally shut him down, and there we go. Oh, and Sky converts onto C's. This is the first time in what feels like such a while that Alternate Attacks have lit up the feed early into the 12th. 5 versus 3 for Singularity. The Ts, they are currently spread out, but they will group, and they'll be ready to trade. Oh, but Kesey's just spinning on a swivel. He can't hit the wallbang, but he will escape temporarily with his life, and he will hit the second shot as well. Cello is there to trade, but it's a 2 versus 2. This AWP as Singularity has seemingly done it all. The defense are split 1-1. A bomb site is the objective, but Celta aggressively pushing will neutralize Freeze. It's all left onto Cello. Has had some extraordinary clutches already in this series. Will need to go one better and do it here for his team when it matters most. Knows that one player is in towards CT. Currently not aware of Dilladez, but the HP does not favour this CT. 1 versus 1. That grenade is going to do good damage, but actually he's just going to stick the bomb. Dilladez, he might have it all, but Cello once again gets the clutch for this German side. 1 versus 2. And it's a lifeline back into the T-4 alternate attacks. Some absolute banger shots coming out. But Cello once again just completely eliminates the threat. Dilladez with the low HP and the bomb not being planted for Cello. The stick was probably the correct call. Round 13. Singularity still have 8 CT rounds, but this could still be close yet. Despite winning the round, the bye, it's still not amazing for this German roster. But once again, it's the same default we keep seeing. Difference maker is Flax is not in towards connector. So it's Orzek who lights up the feed, but Dilladez is going huge through this wallbang. Gets 2 kills. And they know that there's another player in towards short, Singularity. They take the man advantage and they've got more info to boot. And with the A threat of Maeve being struck from the score sheet. It's a 2 versus 4. Dilladez continuing his domination over towards this B bomb site. He is the anchor and twinned with C's Singularity. They get their 9th. Just look at this spam. He goes back for seconds and he takes a headshot with him. 3 kills in the round. Each individual for Singularity is stepping up in a big way. And it's really when it matters most. AWP pick not being offered this time for Kisei. So instead, he will just elect to retreat. They're playing the numbers game, they're playing the discipline. No mistakes here. But short control has been gathered for this T side. And there's a lot of players here. They might just be ready to explode. It's a 2-man monster lean though. But the kills, they just fill the feed for this terrorist side. Blink and you'll miss it. It's a 4 versus 2. The rotates. One of them is here, but it's only an AWP. It's going to need to go absolutely huge. Smoke, kit, utility. It's all there for Singularity if they even elect to go for it. Alternate attacks, they can get a 5th here on the board. And with this Molotov, it might incentivize them to go even further. Cello playing in the rat position. Will hunt this AWP down. Stamp him out of the server. Alternate attacks, they do get 5. And that's actually a very important kill. Fall in the way of Klax because he does eliminate this AWP from being saved over. So if they do want to get one this alternate attack side, it will come at a cost of utility. But this is the last round of the first half in the deciding map of the first best of 3 that I'm casting with you tonight. One of these teams will be exiting the competition, and Kisei wants to ensure it's not Singularity. An early entry kill falling the way of this CT side, 5 versus 4. More spam being done. This time it's Celta and not Dilladez. But short control is where alternate attacks have been finding success, and once again, uncontested, they gather it. Last round, this explosive pop worked for them, but it's more of a reserved setup. Heaven Smoke about to land, and here they go. They're about to barrel in, but they are going to be met with a defense of 2 CTs who are here. Celta, he lines them up and knocks them down. Sky from the back lines, 1 versus 3. It's going to be all so difficult for him to accomplish. Has had a slow start to this one, and Clax will convert. Singularity 10-5 on the decider map of this best of 3. It's really heating up here. It looks to go the full distance. Join us just after the break and we'll bring you the second half live. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. You just saw some ads from our sponsors. But more about that in a moment. More importantly, I want to talk about this game. 1-1 alternate attacks, Singularity. Singularity look incredibly dominant on their CT side. It's now all up to alternate attacks, this German roster. They're fighting for their tournament lives. Backs up against the wall. Which one is going to succeed? Which one is going to be sent home? We're just about to find out here on the final decider map of Overpass. My name is Brandon, aka B-Dog. I've been talking you through all the action so far, and stay tuned because there's another best of 3 just about to come up. We're not there yet. We are here. These 2 teams have been battling it out quite a while now. It is the decider map. I'm extremely excited. I just want to see it. Who are you rooting for in the chat? Please let me know. See a lot of people here for Singularity. I've also seen some German fans pop up here and there. And personally, I just want a good game of Counter-Strike. 10-5 is the scoreline. Singularity 6 rounds away on their T side to convert. However, alternate attacks, they're prone to a comeback. And with 4 players immediately sprinting over towards long, this is similar shades of what we saw on the pistol round for alternate attacks. They have got a stack over here in towards A. There are some connector players. It looks to be all around the world. Maeve just moves off the angle just in time, and they're actually going to slip right by him. Orzek, it will actually be the first port of call. Some lovely headshots coming in, but can only manage one. The flashbang, it's good. But Sky, he's just in the back lines. However, the trades, they keep coming thick and fast, but the issue for Singularity is the bomb. It's now been dropped. Jumping in, trying to avert the aim. And Sky will stay alive because there is a player in freeze. He's got full HP and he's about to swing in. The T's are in a CT sandwich and Sky wants to eliminate them. Freeze can't actually connect the dots. And suddenly it's all left onto Sky on 20 HP. Rotated in the long way over towards Monster, but about to have a rude awakening. Because Singularity, they're on A. but Sky does have a defuse kit. And with the amount of time that he is taking to rotate up to CT, they might not be aware of it, but there is a crossfire in. Now going to hold firm. The elevated angle of Diladez reigns true at Singularity. They convert the pistol and they take the first step, crucially, into taking the series. It was actually a really nice setup for alternate attacks as well coming into this. It almost like they had all the correct players there. They knew exactly what was going to happen, but the shots just didn't fall their way. There's a lot of whiffs, especially in connector of freeze over towards short. It enabled Singularity into the round further, and they do convert. It's just these USPs for alternate attacks, and it's a gamble stack in towards B. The flashbang is going to be quite pivotal, but they're all in water. Singularity, this could get a little bit scary, but it's about to be cleaned up. Clax and Celta combine once again. Singularity, 12 rounds to the good. And whilst they did walk into the stack, they came out of it on top. Only one player getting eliminated. You can take that all day long. But that was an eco for alternate attacks. They're now straight back onto the buy. Short control Molotov lined up for Singularity. And more of the same. This connected door, it's being blown off. It's allowing support to come in from B bomb site. Especially with these Molotovs, but Orzek, he reigns strong. And Maeve as well in the feed. It's an early advantage for alternate attacks in towards the 18th. On the other side of the map, Kisei, he actually has taken a lot of space. They might be sandwiching this connector player in, but Orzek, he takes another one with him to the grave. It's all left onto Kisei, 1 versus 4. And I'll say it once, I'll say it again. We have seen some incredible individual talents on display for both of these teams. The bomb, it's in connector, so it's in Kisei's grasp. But he's just got it all to do. Isolate the gunfights. You could be onto a winner. But with 35 seconds left on the clock, the decision is to save. And it does make sense. There are rounds to play with. You don't need to give up an AK to these CTs. Cello would much prefer it to a FAMAS. But instead, that's all he's going to get. So alternate attacks, they do fight back. Once the guns come out, they do convert. And Singularity have still got a little bit of a way to go to securing this in their favour. But it's even more of a steeper climb for this German side. But this door being blown off on connector, we've seen this from both teams. It's actually just allowing a lot of crossfires to come in that aren't normally available. But the guns, they are out for both of these teams. A scout on towards Kisei. He has dropped over that AK to either Diladez or Celta, because the other two players of Singularity are just reduced to Galils. Early monster presence being felt, but Orzek so often has been the one to get the gears turning for alternate attacks. Putting a lot of pressure on his shoulders, being in such an advanced position. But he will once again get a kill and fall away. The early advantage once again going in alternate attacks' favour. But the slow snake of Singularity are just looking to take Divider. There are still 3 defenders over towards B for this CT side. But with Orzek neutralizing the numbers further, this is going to alert the CTs that this is going to be an A attack. But instead of it prospering to alternate attacks in the feed once again, it's a 5 versus 1. It's the same old story in the early stages of this T gun round. And that's the fact that alternate attacks, and off the back of Orzek, who's had an incredible series so far, is just finding opening after opening. And much like Clax on CT side for Singularity, he's pulling all of the strings. He's orchestrating where Singularity are actually going to end up, and he's just smacking them right down. This aggressive play, it does net him 2 kills once again into this round. It's just really well played. So 12-7. On paper, 12-8 with just these pistols in the hands of Singularity. It looks like they are going to burst out on towards Monster though, but Cello is here, and he's good for 4, and he's trying to get an ace onto the board, but Seized wants to deny him at every opportunity. Can't get anything done. The ace, it doesn't fall the way of Cello, but it's still a lovely spray down nevertheless, completely eliminating all of these players from the server. And alternate attacks, they now close the deficit just to 4 rounds. But the full buy can now come in for Singularity. The utility is a little bit sparse on some of these players, but they have elected to buy smokes. And it will enable them to push aggressively over towards Party, but once again it's Orzek. And he's causing absolute chaos over towards Fountain. Double, make it a triple kill. This man, he cannot be stopped right now for this German side. It's now a 5 versus 2 in their favour. And Singularity, it's great. You've got short control, but the bomb and the round, it firmly belongs to alternate attacks. Max will do his best to answer back. But it's a 2-2 split. There's a minute on the board. So let's not count Singularity out of this just yet. However, with the players rotating in towards B, and this is where the terrorists are grouping, it's going to make it near impossible. There's also a lot of utility. Freeze is going to take the first contact and then just bait them into his teammate. This should be done. The flashbang just secures it, and it's Orzek's flash to do it all. The kills and the enabler to end that round. This man is having an unbelievable series. He even finds in the third through the smoke as well. And the flashbang, the utility usage coming out for alternate attacks is proving far superior upon Singularity. Who have again been knocked down a peg and have only got these pistols. However, they're going to have to be so aware of the fact that Orzek is more than capable of pushing the extremities and taking the fight to these Ts. So he's conditioned them now. They're going to be aware of that for the rest of the half. They're going to be checking their back, watching their corners, and doing their due diligence. But in the end, it's going to waste a lot of time for them clearing out all of these angles. And he's not even there. Instead, he's playing quite reserved against these pistols, and this is the correct thing to do. Alternate attacks, waiting for Singularity to decide where they're going to go. Playing back on these bomb sites. Longer ranged rifle fights and AWP fights will definitely favour the CTs. And on paper, this should be another German round. favour. A little bit of flair there with the flick. The flashes, they're good, but the kills, they're not being converted. That is unless Dillade's have anything to say about it. But the crossfires, they're just too strong. The rotations, they are here. It's all left onto Kisei. And he can't get it done. The AWP sings. Alternate attacks reduce the deficit once again. We are having a technical timeout now. There's some issues going on. But I've been told it's a minor one. So it's not too bad at all. So we're just going to take a moment and we're just going to breathe. Everyone in the chat, both Singularity and Alternate Attacks are going to need your energy. We're about to head into round 23. Singularity, they can buy. The loss bonus favours them. So they can purchase. They can even get an AWP on towards Kisei. His balance is economically perfect for this. Alternate Attacks looking to steamroll their momentum to reduce the gap even further and to maybe go into the lead. As we do hear the faint echoes of chat in the background. We actually are unpaused. Whilst I've got this moment with you, I just want to say make sure to follow this channel. And check out HCG on Twitter because they're currently doing a plasma giveaway. If you use code HCG at checkout, you'll get 10% off. But the buy, it does come in. The AWP, it does come out for the T side. It's going to need to find impact. We saw it doing miraculous things on CT. And in fact, just all series. But here we are at the latter stages of this third map. Both of these teams do not want to lose their spot in this tournament. One of them will. 3-man early lead, and it's more of the same for Alternate Attacks. They're just waiting for Singularity to come to them. They're relying on their cohesion. They're relying on their teamwork and their crossfires. Over towards B anyway. Orzek, he is in towards toilets. But he might get a rude awakening. Because it looked like Singularity were originally posturing towards long, but in fact it's all a bit of a ruse. It's bamboozled everyone, including your caster. Because they are heading currently towards Monster. But once again, there are 3 players here for Alternate Attacks, and there's going to be another little bit of a sneaky play, Cello. Maybe going to give Singularity a taste of their own medicine. The Molotov it rains in, but the entry, it appeared to be too strong, but Sky is there, combining with a double kill. And Orzek from the connector. Once again, it's all CT in the feed. It's a 1 versus 3. There's no time on the board. Singularity have to save, and Alternate Attacks, it's now 12-11.
Counter-terrorists win.
And this is coming right down to the wire. What a series this has been. 19-15 on Ancient. Alternate Attacks look to be running away with that one. And then 16-8, I believe, was the score on Nuke for Singularity. And now 12-11. Favouring the T side coming into the last map of this series. The stakes are high. The T's are higher. Climbing onto this totem, but it won't result in a kill. But Orzek, he'll find one in connector once again. This man, he cannot be stopped. If Singularity want to win a round on this T side, they need to kill Orzek before they kill him. It sounds a bit silly, but every single opening kill has been falling his way. Whether it's in connector, party, toilet, he will find you and he will kill you. 4 versus 5. This was 12-5, I believe. Or 12-6. Something ridiculous like that. But alternate aTTaX are doing the comeback dance. They shook off the heat. Oh, the grenades were being lined up, but the AWP is on Overwatch. 3 versus 3. This is the closest Singularity have had in a while to convert around. This double short push, it could be the success. And it might continue feeding the stack, but instead, plans have changed. 30 seconds on the board, smoke's being lined up for A. Molotov's being positioned, and it's all on Maeve. Hold down the line for these rotations, but there's a quick one in towards Connector, but it might not even be needed. It's AWP. It does find success initially, but this flank is going to be surely too quick. Walking through the smoke as well cements it. 12-12, we're all tied up. And Maeve, who's had a quiet series overall, does deliver a kill, which enables this retake to immediately come in the bomb. It doesn't even get planted, and that's such a big deal in the late stages of this half. Force Spy coming in, but it only nets Tech 9s. But look at how fast they're going through. Dilladez eventually gets Ozark once again, but the Orb is being hunted down, but Maeve enters the feed in a big way. The AWP will not be converted in Singularity's favour. Instead, it's all fall in the way of CT. And with Sky in Connector, this round it's locked in. One versus 4. The reposition is beautiful. He doesn't predict this. There's no way he checks it. He's not even going to go and contest it. Dilladez. Still being held by this AWP, but the smoke is down. It's going to enable him to walk up a little bit. Could catch these CTs off guard just a tad. But he might not be aware that there's a double long setup. Not that it matters. Maeve finally coming alive in the dying embers of this series. 13-12. And it all looks so good for Singularity initially. Alternate aTTaX. They're digging in. And they've taken the lead for the first time in an extremely long time. I think it's been... well, not since the half started, and maybe a bit before. The buy, it will come out once again, but Singularity, they've got to get the guns working. They've got to get it moving. Short control belonging to them in the early stages of the 26th. But we've seen this time and time again from this German roster. They let you have the map control over towards B. They're not worried. Instead, there's 3 men to the good, and they're always in this crossfire. Time is ticking. The boost, it's perfect. Celta dropped. 4 versus 5. Can alternate aTTaX do it once again? The issue that Singularity have got is that it keeps forcing them into these crossfires because the presence just on B alone. And Maeve cemented an AWP kill of his own. It's a 5 versus 3. And alternate aTTaX are looking to close out the map. They're looking to do it off the back of an insane comeback. And Seized, I haven't actually said his name in quite a while. He's been absent for most of this second half. It feels like Cello is not going to be cleared. It's all left onto the veteran. But with 1 versus 4 and with 10 seconds left, he just needs to save his rifle. Save his blushes and run away. Does kill Sky. That's economic damage. I'm not going to worry about that. Cello kills him after time. That's no money for Seized. $650. That's all he's got. The pause, it comes in. It's 14-12. Alternate attacks. Surely they're not going to do this. Tactical pause coming in. 14-12 is now the scoreline off the back of an absolutely insane comeback by Alternate Attacks. This series has really had it all. We came into this and I said, Alternate Attacks have played Overpass maybe once in such a long time. And they lost 16-8 to Budapest 5. I think Singularity on paper is a better team than Budapest 5, but Alternate Attacks are putting them in their place. It's their game to lose at this moment in time, especially with this Tech 9 buy. This is going to be a fairy tale storyline from Alternate Attacks, who had to forfeit their first game as well, and they've battled back so valiantly in this regional Swiss. They're looking to convert to map and series point. With the Molotovs, they are raining down, but the flashbangs, they're just not there. It's based off the fact that they've got no utility, they've got no money. Singularity, they're running into the meat grinder. Alternate Attacks, they get onto series point. And they're one round away from staying alive and eliminating Singularity. They just had no flashbangs. And that was the error and the downfall of Singularity into the 27th. But here on the 28th, they could end it all. The buy, it's here for this Russian team, but it's not ideal. They wish it was better. However, they've got to work with what they've got. They put themselves in this position. And Sky lights up the feed. 4 kills now is all that remains. Make it 3. Short control being gathered, and it's the nail in the coffin. It's all left onto the vet. Seized has got it all to do. But Freeze will silence him. Alternate Attacks turn it around at the death and will finally win the series. What an incredible comeback from him and that team. Congratulations and well played to Orzek and co. Completely eliminating Singularity from this tournament. Alternate Attacks, they will play tomorrow. But that is it so far for us right now. We're going to go to a quick break. And then join us when we see Onyx versus Los Reyes for the final best of 3 of the evening. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a bit.